now, all right, looks like this is part 3 of the G-Fest 23 live stream. Sorry once again for the technical difficulties, but if you have listened to any of the SOS's previous live streams, especially on Bill's channel, you probably know how this is all like at this point.
We're a complete mess of a podcasting network.
At no point we may try to pretend to be professionals, but we are in no way professionals.
You poor man.
It's like trying to properly run the Titanic ship while it is sinking.
Yeah, it's like, guys, we should like maintain protocol. It's like, Joe, we're all gonna die. Let's just get the hell out of here.
And we're also outside.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that could be also.
We tried to do that the first thing we recorded for this trip, though, too, and it went a little. No, it didn't go better. It went about the same. No, this is going better. I think. Yeah, no, well, we're not as drunk.
Yeah, speak for yourself.
Yeah.
No, I'm pretty even keeled.
I had like 3 shots that day and like 2 barrel beer.
No, I had a lot more shots. I don't have a lot more, but I had a couple more shots than you piled it. Because I was like, we're 10 minutes later, I'm in.
Would you mind sharing part 3 again?
Yes, I will.
Thank you very much. Okay, so let's get into the comments now because luckily I still have the page opener of the last live stream, so we can look through any questions through here, and then we can answer questions for that are on the current live stream. Let's see.
Part 3, the return of the Andres. I couldn't think of a better thing to go.
Part 3, prepare thy anus.
Oh boy, that's
yeah, there you just go with
Part 3, the search for a working live stream.
There you go. That's the best one.
Yeah.
Oh, let's see. We had Sci-Fi Dragon ask, have any of you guys seen Independence Day Resurgence? And if so, what did you guys think of it?
Am I the only one who's seen it?
Yeah, I'm planning on going after I get back from my trip.
Yeah.
All right. It's okay. It's very meh. It's not as good as the first one. Obviously, it's not got
Will
Smith in it, which is a problem because he's by and large one of the best characters in the first movie. But I mean, you still got Goldblum there. He's still enjoyable. You've still got Judd Hirsch, which his subplot is so unnecessary, but he's just fun to have around. And I like that Brent Spiner got more to do in the sequel than he got to do in the first movie. We learned some more about his character. But overall, it's sort of bland, really. I wouldn't recommend seeing it until it's like out on Redbox, and even then, pirate it if you can. Yeah, it's not very good. It's not the worst thing in the world. I can think of worse ways to spend an hour and a half.
Oh, it's not over 2 hours. Thank God. Oh.
I'm actually not sure how long it is.
Don't do that to me, Bill.
But yeah, I think it's exactly what you expect it to be. It feels like Emmerich is ripping off Michael Bay a little bit now. So
work.
Not that I could see it. It all looks CG to me. I didn't notice any. I think that's improved from the first movie is that CG fire looks a little bit more convincing 20 years later.
All right, well, there you go, Sci-Fi Dragon. Let's see, what other sort of questions do we have here? Let's see.
That's a question I'll have to ruminate on.
Yeah.
Let's see. Love your super duper sexy voice. Please review
we all do.
Terra Mechagodzilla on Pornhub.
Oh, I wonder who wrote that. Yeah.
Let's see. I don't know who could possibly have such a YouTube moniker such as Rude Boy Kyle.
Yeah, no.
Kyle. Rude Boy Cat.
Yeah.
Where's Cat?
He's in the bat room, presumably?
Oh,
No,
he's in the
no,
bat
he
room.
The
went
bat
to a
room?
convenience
Did
store.
you say the
Oh,
bat?
did he?
Yeah.
Oh, to get cigarettes?
I don't know. I just pointed him in the right direction.
Bill, did you just say the bat room?
That's what I say now. It's my new thing. Deal with it.
Bat room, where is that? Chris, do you have a room full of bats? Why didn't I see this?
Actually, I think we do have a room full of bats, but you probably want the restroom.
Yeah, I'd
rather have the bat
I would love to see both of these things, but I could use the restroom sooner.
Let's see.
Like the edge of the guano pile.
Any sort of real. Oh, what happened to the?
So we do have a guano pile.
I bet.
Let's see. A Naing asks, what happened to the jizz scale, which we already talked about. It just became one of those reoccurring jokes that got played out, and we just moved on.
We just kind of forgot. Like, we never intentionally do anything on SOS. Like, we just kind of forget about things, and we come up with other things as they go along,
Right.
Like, that's just the reality. Like, we don't really put a lot. You do the most amount of work into preparing for the show, and even that has sort of become more last minute as you've moved to Japan and, gotten a life and everything. So
I guess so.
Yeah.
Coming soon is the new series, an SOS
an SOS network near you, the GIS scale.
Well, we are thinking of changing things up a bit for next season, so we'll see what happens.
Can't wait to see what these next changes you have not talked to me about.
Well, we just
What
mentioned
happened?
it like before you got to New York the other day, and then I totally forgot to bring it up to you. So I'll discuss it with you on another time. Another time.
Let's see. A lot of these comments are related to the rather in-depth animation conversation that we had.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Been looking through. Oh, let's see. Douchebag Dylan, aka Hidor the Douchebag, aka Dylan McIntosh, aka Dylan McIntosh, asked, not to force my personal favorite gaming franchise, have you seen the Halo Wars 2 E3 trailer? Unfortunately, I have not, Dylan. I barely have any exposure to Halo outside of like one session of Halo 2 multiplayer years ago and Red versus Blue, but I don't think Red versus Blue counts as a Halo exposure.
No, it starts out in that universe and then it goes into a completely different direction. I've played most of Halo 1. I haven't played any of Halo 2, and I played most of Halo 3. They're great. I mean, they're pretty revolutionary first-person shooters. They're pretty engrossing. I think the best thing about them is probably the score and also like the ambiance of the universe. It's got this very interesting, like, kind of pseudo ethereal religious kind of spin on the whole alien invasion concept, and it's really interesting. James Cameron hates the Halo games. I don't know if you guys probably do know that because you know, they're very inspired by aliens. And I remember I saw an interview with him on G4 when Avatar first came out, and then he was pimping out the video game, which is awful. And he was talking about how people were complaining that Avatar was a total Halo knockoff because the designs kind of looked like Halo. And he was like, no. Halo stole from aliens, and that's my own stuff, so I'm allowed to steal from my own stuff. And it's like, I mean, that wasn't the first thing to look like that. You weren't the first one to go, well, let's take a realistic military and put it into the future.
He took Aliens and just expanded that from the look of the first Alien. I mean, really.
Well, but it's got more of a specific military
He
look.
applied that design aesthetic to military stuff. But that whole idea of, like, you know, this used-looking future,
that's Star Wars.
Which actually you can get from Star Wars, but I think Alien just took it a step even further.
Well, Alien's like that blue-collar people working hard in space kind of thing,
everybody's
which I really enjoy.
Everybody's wearing like trucker hats.
Everybody's like, oh God, I hate my boss, and I hate my job, and all that. Even though I'm in the depths of space.
On my phone, that would be nice to have.
Sure. Yeah. You got it, buddy.
Let's see. So, have you had any exposure to Halo Wars? And would you like to answer have you seen the trailer for Halo Wars 2?
I never played Halo Wars. That's the RTS one, right?
Yeah. The one where you take control of an entire army.
I hate RTS games because I'm really bad at them. I remember I played Tom Clancy's End War, I think that was called, when that first came out on the PS3, and I was awful at it. It was like all revolutionary because you could use your headset to command your troops, and it never worked. You just ended up using the manual controls.
The closest I've ever gotten to any sort of thing that's remotely like an RTS is just like the Super Robot Wars games, which is more strategy, turn-based strategy game where you have a bunch of characters, move them across a grid battlefield.
Yeah, the only thing that's RTS about that is the way you move. Everything else is just turn-based.
Turn-based Pokemon battles.
I've played RTS. It's I don't like it either. It's not that it's that I'm not any good at it. It's just that it takes forever to play.
That too. Okay,
there's a very slow process.
A lot of micromanaging.
There's one RTS game that I fucking love, and it's a Flash game. It's called Warfare 1912. It's a World War I trench-based like
I think I've played
RTS game. It's great.
I think I've played that.
I'm really bad at it, but it's great.
Let's see. Moving on. Let's see. This was a late question. This individual asked, possibly like right before we ended the live stream, and this was from a Gojira Lagan. Oh, okay, probably maybe a Gurren Lagann fan.
Yeah, Gojira Lagann.
Gorgira Logan 1995, he asks, what do you guys think of The Beast from 20,000 Fathoms?
That's my second favorite Ray Harryhausen
Yeah, it's awesome.
film.
Oh, it's a really fun, great movie.
I don't know if it's that high on my list of Harryhausen films, but it's really good. I love it a lot.
I like 20 Million Miles to Earth more, but it's really great. I love Beast from 20,000
I love his mythology stuff a lot more than his sci-fi stuff, actually.
Interesting.
Just because that's where I am in terms of my interests. But it is very good. It's very good.
It's great.
Like that is essentially the grand, like, you know, even though a lot of people say 54 is really Beast of 20,000 Fathoms is the granddaddy of all kaiju films. That's where all the tropes began.
It's established the 50s monster movie
Well, I mean, it
formula.
influenced.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah, you can't have 54.
And
without
obviously, you
Beast.
can go back
No.
further than that. You can talk about Kong, and you can talk about the Lost
that's
World.
true. That's
But
true.
And you can go all the way back and talk about that crude animated Brontosaurus.
Gertie
yeah.
the dinosaur.
Yeah. The interesting thing.
Gertie
about-
the dinosaur is the best kaiju ever.
The interesting thing.
My favorite. I'm looking for a vinyl.
The interesting thing when you talk about Beast, though, when you compare it to 54, and even to King Kong, is and King Kong matches it more with Beast, is that Gojira was really the first movie to establish like these monsters are capable of decimating an entire city.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because Beast and King Kong, they just kind of trash a little part of New
It's
York.
just a big animal on the loose.
Yeah, they're walking
Yeah.
in the middle of the street a lot of times. They usually bump into things by accident. Godzilla's just like attacking that city, like
That's true.
rage filled.
It's almost like Zilla's more like Beast from 20,000 Fathoms than Godzilla.
Yeah, you could say that, right?
Shit, I wouldn't realize that.
Have almost the same origins.
They have almost the same death scene. It's just one's trapped in an amusement park, and one's trapped on a suspension.
Well, and
bridge.
also there was I don't like. Okay, that's the one thing I don't like about Beast is the ending is nonsense. So they make a radioactive bullet to
Mhm.
fire at the Beast, and that is the thing that kills.
Well, I think
like
the
somehow
thing-
the
because I think
radiation.
the
Because
thing
the,
we all love-
giant monster that comes to life from the ice is totally legit and believable.
Yeah. Well, here's
Yeah.
the thing. Here's the thing.
Yeah, fair enough.
I think the thing people love about the Beast from 20,000 Fathoms is all the stop motion by Ray Harryhausen.
Oh, it's great.
I don't think anybody's here because of the script.
Yeah,
I like the
but also,
characters.
not
Yeah, I
only-
do.
Not only the stop motion, but the
Well, like it's-
blending.
Yeah.
The way he blended it with the live footage
Mhm.
was
Well, the moment when it eats that guy just
Yeah.
looks great.
Yeah, it
Like
does.
there's also one shot in the when the stop motion. I'm not sure if you guys noticed it, but when the Rhedosaurus like goes through the villain, goes through like not goes through it, but like right next to the buildings, the shadow is casting along with the stop motion. And I have no idea how he pulled that off. I'm gonna guess that maybe he had a little trickery with the lighting, but like that one, even though it's like a one little moment,
are we on?
it's like savoring it. Like it kind of savors just that one little shot of just him going through that shadow.
Also, they pulled a Bryan Cranston. My favorite character in the movie goes down a diving bell and he never.
Oh
gets
yeah,
it.
the scientist dude.
Is that the same guy from them, or is that a different guy?
I think it's a different guy because I rewatched those both recently.
Oh,
I have
wait.
them on a double.
I think the
feature.
guy from them is Edmund Gwen, the guy from
Yeah,
Miracle on 34th Street.
Yeah,
So they
that's who
are
that is.
different people.
they
Yeah,
are different people.
yeah, okay.
That
Or
guy's
Santa.
good.
Oh, he's great. Yeah,
Let's talk about them. That's a good.
he
movie.
doesn't die. He doesn't die.
What about the giant claw?
Oh,
yeah.
God!
Ooh.
the giant
Oh, it's
claw.
it's brilliant. It's a masterpiece.
I just love that the main guy in that is
Isn't that
Exeter
the
from
same
this.
Giant
I've
Claw
never
is
seen that
best
at all.
claw.
Giant Claw is best claw. How you guys feel about the alligator people?
The Giant Claw is so
Oh,
weird.
the alligator
We
people.
talked about it in our review. The script is fine. It's just the monster that kills that movie. Like,
Yeah, it's just the
it's a fine script.
and makes it memorable.
Well, yeah, it's weird. Like, it doesn't. It's bizarre.
Like,
Like
thing.
it hurts the
I think
movie,
if that-
but it improves the movie.
It's what makes it more memorable, but it hurts the actual quality of the
I
story.
think if
Yeah.
that movie actually had quality special effects, it would be forgotten.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
I don't know. I mean,
Well, originally they wanted Harryhausen in it, so
like
Well, if
Be-
Harryhausen had done it, it would have been
That
a
would be
classic
different,
because
but-
everything he touches is gold.
But if it had been like a better marionette puppet, I still don't think
But I
anybody
mean, have you
would.
seen the lasso scene in Guanji? It's great.
has there ever been a bad Harryhausen performance?
Not that I can think of.
You mean
I
just
think
the effects?
I
Or
think
Yeah, yeah.
there might be a couple subpar, but subpar Harryhausen is still
Yeah,
like, way ahead of
it's still
anyone
top
else.
of the line.
Like the lasso scene. Harryhausen does stuff where even if you know how stop motion works,
Yeah.
like you still can't figure out how he did that.
I like how he imbues such a personality into all of his characters.
Mm-hmm.
There's only one other stop motion animator I've ever seen that did something close to that. There's some Czechoslovakian guy. I don't remember his name.
It's just some random
There's,
Czechoslovakian.
there's this Czechoslovakian film that I had the dubbed version of on a VHS when I was a kid. It's called Journey to the Beginning of Time. And it's these kids, they get on this boat at a museum and they go down this river and all of a sudden they are transported through time and they go like all the way back through the dinosaurs and the mammoths and all that stuff. And it's just packed with critters. Anyway, that guy managed to make everything feel so real. Like, from what I remember, now I haven't watched this in years. I
I'm
don't
gonna
know how
look
it
up what
holds-
this dude's name is.
I don't know how it holds up, but I remember that looking really amazing. You can look up the chain of a pterodactyl.
Journey to the Beginning of Time.
Yeah,
Do you have any idea what year it was?
I don't
'Cause
remember.
that sounds like a really like a title that a lot of things probably.
I don't
have.
remember off the top of my head. If you show me the VHS cover, I'll know it instantly. And I recently looked
Here's
up
the poster.
I recently looked up. That's the one. I recently
Okay.
looked up the Czechoslovakian title, and I can't remember that off the top of my head either.
Whoa, 4 boys living the excitement every boy dreams about. That's the tagline for that movie.
Only in
Yeah.
1950.
Isn't that the tagline for the SOS podcast?
Not
well,
Well,
anymore.
it's not so much of a dream as so much as it's a nightmare.
Carl Zaman,
yeah,
the director.
his work in that movie was the only thing that I can think of off the top of my head that like even comes close to like what you see in like
Hmm.
Harryhausen. Watch that trailer. When
Let's
you get
see.
a chance.
Speaking
It's
of
pretty good.
Harryhausen,
Claw versus Rhedosaurus.
or yeah, King Kong versus
Dude,
Rhedosaurus.
there was a trailer. Someone made an edited trailer of that.
Really.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Along with Giant Behemoth versus the Giant Mantis.
That's awesome. There was
The
also
Deadly Mantis.
G-Fest, the
Deadly
first
Mantis.
one. There was
Yeah.
a Superman versus Rhedosaurus model that was
Oh, I
awesome.
saw
I didn't
that.
even know it was Superman until I
Yeah.
looked at it real close. So you could see him holding up the mouth. That was
I
awesome.
have
Yeah.
to get down to the model room tomorrow. Like,
Oh,
I,
I
I saw
would
that.
recommend
That's
it. Yeah.
nice
I'm
stuff.
gonna.
Really
Yeah.
I might ask for a volunteer so I could like go downstairs for a while.
There's
I-
one.
I can do that.
There's one. You know the what's that arch called in Paris?
Oh god, I have no idea.
You know the one I'm talking
The
about.
thing
It
that
gets-
Gorosaurus
it gets destroyed
destroyed.
in Dam. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's one. The model's broken, and you just see Gorosaurus and Baragon fighting over who's gonna get into the shot. It's great.
yeah.
Well, you know how much I love Gorosaurus.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Look what happened.
There's also, and this one blew my mind. There's a model of a Godzilla model being made. So the model is like a wall and a little table, and on it is a model of Godzilla.
That's so
Like
meta.
there's just all these.
Right.
Yes.
That's what
Everybody
everybody said
said-
when we walked
That's
by.
what I
Yeah.
said. Do you have a picture of it?
Yes,
I have.
do.
I had a
I have
picture.
most-
Yeah,
of them on a
essentially it's
Snapchat
Andy
story.
Warhol making a Godzilla film.
It's a model of a
It's a
model.
model of a model being made of a model.
If only that model was unfinished as well.
The quality of
If
my
it was
camera
a
is
if
not
it was
amazing.
a model of someone making a model of the model,
Yeah.
Oh.
It's a painting of a guy painting a painting of a guy painting a painting of a guy painting a painting
That's deep.
of a guy painting.
Here's the model. Sorry, my camera's so crap.
oh wow,
Yeah, it's pretty cool, right?
There's like all these little tools strung out on the table.
That's
There's
also
like,
one of the first maquettes they
compasses
made
and
for
pencils
the
and
original
stuff.
Gojira.
Okay,
so that's
so
really
let's
cool.
see.
Yeah.
So who would win, King Kong or Rhedosaurus? I'm gonna say Rhedosaurus because he's got like the radioactive thing that can make King Kong sick.
That's true, but King Kong is like so adept to killing monsters of that.
Also, according to
variety.
King Kong Escapes, he's pretty immune to radiation.
Oh, yeah.
Not to
That's
mention,
the
not to mention,
question.
go by King Kong versus Godzilla's logic. Electricity makes it more
we
powerful.
could qualify that by saying the American version
Mhm.
because they were both American movies.
Ultimately,
There
the
we go.
question is, which Kong are we talking about? Even if we narrow it down to American, we got 3 different Kongs.
I guess if we go by the
what was
God,
the closest to the era of the Rhedosaurus?
Well, then we got to go 33.
Well, then that's
And
yeah.
in that
okay.
case,
Well, technically, it's universal international version of
Is
King
it-
Kong
is it-
versus
is
Godzilla.
Tyrannosaurus bigger than King Kong?
Yeah, but he's hunched. He's on all fours, so Kong
Right.
might be taller, but he's not as
If he,
big.
if he can do that jaw pulling move,
But
Then he wins.
Son of Kong fought some
Ooh.
monster that was very similar to a Rhedosaurus.
that is true.
Yeah.
And,
That's true.
I mean, they were smaller scale, but it was very similar.
yeah. Okay, given that as an example, I'm going to say Kong, maybe. I mean,
Okay.
maybe he dies of cancer afterwards.
Yeah, sure,
yeah.
But he wins the fight.
Yeah.
Kong is also
Kong
like
is much smarter.
he's
Yeah, I'm-
smarter. He's also like he does not give up. Like if you like the way he's described in a lot of books about like the original story and everything, it's like even if he's on the verge of death, he doesn't stop. So he's that kind of character.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree. Kong would definitely win.
He's like the Captain America of the monster world. He just doesn't give a shit.
When
He'll just-
Captain America throws his mighty shield.
And if we do talk about the other versions of Kong,
Tell
each
me
of
you
them
do your
easily
karaoke
features-
with
Yeah.
that voice.
Yeah.
That's
because all of them are either
Depends
too
on the
large
song.
or
You should do
just
every.
Yeah, I mean, to quote the American version of Godzilla, while Kong is a thinking animal.
Yeah.
His brain is considerably larger.
Well, Godzilla has a brain about this size.
Size.
He's sheer brute force.
Okay, so the next question. Giant,
Congratulations! This was now the nerdiest event in the history of.
I can recite that dumb line by
We've
line.
done it.
We did it.
Have you actually read Fire Beast then?
No,
The
the
second
first
one?
No, not yet.
Okay, because you'll get there's a lot of shit from.
Oh, I got
from
it.
Kong versus Godzilla.
Oh, I
there.
can't wait.
We will later.
Yeah.
Okay, Otto.
Okay. Oh,
Okay.
I love that.
Can't wait to get that to read. You keep writing them. We'll keep.
we're
reading
not
them in
going to a zoo, child. Hurry.
And James Biggie is in it.
I saw that.
bed. Yeah, I
That was
saw
dope.
that on Facebook.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
nice.
Really, that was
Out of
Biggie?
yeah, it's
I
big.
didn't show up to that.
I thought he was somebody else. He
At
looks
least
so
you
familiar.
at least you showed up to make his comic appearance.
They showed up to set that.
I mean, I know it's
That
actually
would be,
Biggie, but I'm just
Yeah,
saying,
yeah.
like, yeah, like when I first saw that, I was like, gee, this guy looks really familiar.
Someone
ZZ
someone
Top.
here is going to have an appearance in the third series. Third
I
part.
heard about that.
Oh,
Hank
I
Perez.
can't imagine.
Yes.
He
Oh, I thought you were gonna
actually-
give it to Andres.
he's-
Definitely
according to the script for the first issue, he's the Bryan Cranston. He gets Cranston big time.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's hysterical. I was wondering who you were going to have fill that role because I knew you'd do it.
He dies
Yeah.
a third into the comic.
If that.
If that's
I'm gonna die 2 pages into the comic.
those
Yeah,
first
it has
two
nothing
pages,
to do with it has nothing to do with monsters. He just chokes.
I choke on a hot dog.
those first 2 pages though, you'll be really cool.
Who chokes on a boy Hermano.
No, you'll be choking on Oreo churro.
You'll have
Oh,
a super
Yeah.
compelling backstory, and then you'll just die.
Yep. But he's married to the main character.
Oh, there
yes.
Yep.
Yatta.
Who dies in a nuclear reactor?
Actually, no, I don't think she dies at all.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You flipped it.
You replaced the son with a wife.
Yep. It's like Queen Kong.
Oh.
Oh, yeah, there we go.
Oh,
God, I haven't heard of that in a long time. I watched the trailer for that when I was a kid, and I was like, "Oh my god!"
Don't go back to it. Do
No.
not.
Well, there's those books about Kong and Godzilla that I don't remember what they were called exactly. There was like the history of them.
I have
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
Actually.
I have the history of Kong. I checked it out in my library.
Story of King Kong or something.
Yeah, something along
I
those
had
lines.
I had it originally when I was a little kid because it came out in the 70s,
Mhm.
and I actually recently found it again on Amazon and got a copy,
Oh, that's
which
dope.
for like 85 cents too.
Oh my god.
But like that's where I first saw like all the stuff about Kong versus Godzilla and
Yeah.
King Kong escapes and all that stuff. And there's some interesting stories in there about how there was a guy in New York City who for years claimed he was actually in the suit of the original King Kong because he claimed it wasn't stop motion. Yeah. I'll send you guys links to that book.
I
so
don't
you can-
remember that. That's crazy.
Look at it.
That's insane.
Yep. And then
You can see the fingerprints on the puppet as it's moving.
Yeah, the fur is shifting
Yeah.
in a way that only really happens.
That happens when you
Yeah.
touch it. Yeah.
That's why characters with fur don't really puppet.
Oh.
There
Wow,
goes another firework.
Some of these people like once every 45 minutes will fire one.
And
We
he
don't
said
wanna
most
go
of
too
the,
quick.
most people who live here are like senior citizens.
yeah.
Do they get like a real thrill out of like throwing that, like shooting those fireworks?
See, after every firework, they have to go lay down for an hour.
They're like, woohoo! This reminds me of back in time in Vietnam.
I got myself too excited just there. I may have soiled
This
myself.
reminds me of the Battle of Richmond.
This reminds me when we beat off the Reds, and I don't mean the communists. I mean the British.
I remember we were surrounded on all sides by engines.
All those Reds. Oh god. Jesus.
The Washington Redskins.
Okay, let's see. Next question was another versus question, which is Giant Claw versus Rhedosaurus.
Giant Claw. He has a
He-
freaking
he-
force field.
She has a force field.
She has a freaking force field. Excuse me.
But also like much bigger.
yeah,
Oh,
that too.
Yes.
She could probably pick up Rhedosaurus and drop him in the
I
water.
feel like she would eat him as food
Possibly,
for her,
yeah.
for her nest.
Yeah, possibly. So no question there.
Yo, what's up?
Let's see. Next up is. Let's see.
What was
that
that?
was another versus question. Gfantis versus Godzilla.
Godzilla.
Yeah. Sorry, Gigantus.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Not your electrical horns are no match for Godzilla's atomic breath.
You're just Titanosaurus with horns. I'm sorry.
Well, we don't have to be mean here, but it's still Godzilla.
Chris, can you hear
No, I-
How's lost?
Calling him Titanosaurus
He's
is not
not
being mean. I love
Sasquatch.
Titanosaurus. I forgot what the
Let's
word.
see. Any other questions? Oh, this is for Andrew. If you have to choose between Gappa the Triphibian Monster or Young Gary / Reptilian 2000, which would you choose?
Hands down, Young Gary, because at
Either or, yeah.
least that movie is laughably bad. Gappa was that ugly mixture of being frustrating and boring. When I took that baseball bat and I smashed it into a million pieces, I did not feel any regret for it. With something like Young Gary, I wouldn't, because it was just too funny not to enjoy.
Based on what I know about the other one, I would have to agree with you. I think it's bad, but it's not horrible.
Yeah, but I think the Gap was a little bit more aware of what it is than Young Gary is.
No, it's not.
No.
I have watched the Japanese version. Is no different than the
Okay,
US
I've never
version.
seen the Japanese
But when
version.
you watch
Yeah,
Young
the
Gary-
Japanese version is no different.
But at least when you watch Young Gary, you can like marvel at how bad those effects
But come
are.
on, Andrew, that song saves that movie. Young Gary doesn't have a song.
Young Gary doesn't need a song.
He does. Yeah, Gary does not need a song. Thank you, Dylan.
You guys ever see the 2 Monster Island Entertainment movies they put out in the late '90s? There was
Zarkor the Invader and Kra the Sea Monster.
Never seen them.
Kra's a better movie.
Yeah.
But Zarkor has a theme song, and that makes that movie 10 times better.
This is the same thinking behind the green slime, right?
Yes.
And Santa Claus Conquers the Martians.
You got him on the right track.
Oh,
I
no,
think
Santa
so.
Claus.
All right,
Conquers
thanks,
the
bro.
Martians.
Hooray for Santa Claus!
One of these years for our Christmas special, we need to watch Santa Claus Conquers the Martians. It's one of
Oh
the-
yeah.
So
I've
what-
never
what
watched
was
that
the last
isolated of the
question?
MSU.
Let's
see. They were
Oh,
asking-
for him, like what is worse, Kappa or Young Gary? 2000.
Gary.
Really?
I think.
Okay.
Oh, you guys get.
Oh, actually, you're a fan of Kappa, right?
Did you say Young Gary 2000?
Yeah, Young Gary 2000.
Oh, fuck that.
take Kappa though, dude.
Debate.
Sincerely.
let me just say this: if you ever see my review of Gappa, I am not nice on that one.
Have you ever seen my screen name? Like, my email is Gap.
Uh-oh.
No, which do I think is
We
worse?
about to throw down.
The Younger 2000 is garbage.
No, it's a bad.
No, it's
It's
bad.
bad.
Don't get me wrong. I mean, I can see why. But it's
I would
just-
much rather watch Gappa the Trifurbian Monster than the reboot of Younger.
I would rather have a film where I'm laughing at it than a film about a guy sexually offending a woman and just makes me want to clench my fist right
Now,
and punch
what
the
does
guy
that
in the
happen?
face.
You're not into the. You're not
When
into
there's-
the
like
regular
when they're on the
show.
island scene.
You should give up
You're-
your job
you're locked
and
up in the
become a
deep end
housewife
of
and
the deal. You're
cook
locked
and
up in Artist
clean and
Alley
clean
all day.
diapers.
Yeah, you get to go to the Ultraman
Yeah,
panel,
and-
did you?
No.
And
There's-
she's like, you know what? You're
Very
right.
informative.
I'm going to
Are you
give up
aware
my
of the
job
fact
of being a
that
scientist to be a.
Gappa's design was
Oh,
originally meant
and,
for
and
Ultraman?
the American version
We
is
learned
even
this
worse
in
in that
the
regard.
panel.
So when he was describing,
Originally, that
the
monster
Japanese
was going to
version,
be the
they
main
tell her
character of the
to
show. It
marry
was
a
going to be the
bank-
one that fought all the
say
other monsters.
basically almost the same thing
And
except
then-
marry a
Monster
bank clerk.
versus Monster.
Yeah, and I don't remember what the reason was, but the guy who designed it was like,
Like, I was
he left Subaru. I was like, fine, I'll take my
angry.
design with me, and then he made Gappa with it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's what,
That was like
that's
a-
what Ragone said. Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
back when the show was still called Bimlar, and then they used that name for the first monster.
That's,
Ultraman.
see, I
which
don't.
became
kn-
Bimlar.
I've never known that much about Ultraman. Like
Yeah.
the actual background. Interesting.
That was a great panel.
Oh,
I feel so bad for you guys that are stuck in Artist Alley all day. Like, I love that room, but
Yeah. It's like a tiny world of G-Fest.
Hundreds, though. Then again, with
Hmm.
the whole thing with the Ben Noir, wasn't the first episode the one that was filmed last? It's
no,
like-
he said the first episode was filmed 9th.
Oh,
August
okay.
Verdone said,
Oh, yeah.
or 9th was still filmed first. It was something like that. It was all filmed out of order, but it wasn't
Yeah, it
filmed last.
was.
Having said all that, the original Yongari, I like watching more than Gappa.
Yeah, me
Yeah.
too.
It's shorter, I think, isn't it?
I think so.
And it's definitely a lot more.
Everything in Korea is apparently highly flammable.
Yeah.
I just like
Anus
that.
bleeding.
I just
That's,
yeah.
you can't top
A
that.
kaiju going on his period. Ooh.
I was about to say I don't think there's any better kaiju death than rectal bleeding. I mean,
No.
Well,
I-
she
wow.
knows about periods.
I was about to say that, then I realized who was right in front of me.
it's not
Apologies.
it's not a secret.
no.
that is something that women do.
Yeah.
No, I know.
Yeah,
I don't want.
Why do you have to make a big deal out of it?
I don't want to offend anybody. Thank you.
You should have.
I don't want to be like the
doesn't
characters from
involve-
Gap of the Trifarian Monster. Thank you
You should
very
have been
much.
offended by Gamu. That woman got a little emotional and turned into a giant monster.
Some women are more susceptible to becoming monsters, according to that.
Mm-hmm.
So if
He
you're angry
becomes a
enough,
monster.
you become a
He
were
becomes a
kaiju.
monster too, though. He's emo, so it makes sense.
And he turns into Satan at the end.
Yeah, whatever that.
That was a
whatever
weird
that
short
was.
film we watched
I
today.
loved it though. I loved every second of it.
Yeah. Yeah, for those of you who don't know what we're talking about,
Which was a film project that Koichi Kawakita worked on with his students.
It was made by the same people who did that
Jet
awesome
Jaguar
M11
project, yeah.
versus Jet Jaguar trailer.
Overload Film was the name of the company.
Jet Jaguar Project M11 it's called.
hmm
The only problem is they don't know how to do blood right. Like it always looks very kind of like it looks either too jelly or too liquidy. Like they can't find a happy
Well,
medium.
they have this weird combination of like their budget is clearly larger than anything we usually see on a fan film, but still pretty low.
Well, yeah,
It's still better than like the digital blood splatter stuff.
Yeah,
I do
yeah.
agree. I definitely agree with that.
Although
Yeah.
Zamir did the whole film itself feel very quiet. Like there was a disturbing lack of a soundtrack.
There was no music, right?
Right.
Wasn't there some-
Maybe near the end.
No, there was a credit for it. It
There was
like
a
this
little
weird
bit of
kinda-
score, but most of it's silent.
You know what it reminds me of? The one we watched earlier than that, Godzilla versus the Netherlands. Like there was this weird. Oh, hang on.
Oh.
So you remember the low key score in that? Like that kind of reminded me of that. But yes, there was a fan film from the '90s called Godzilla versus the Netherlands, where that's what it is. He attacks the Netherlands, and the whole point is there's nothing there to destroy.
He like
the whole
at
point.
one point he's so frustrated because there's no buildings around, he just knocks over a row of trees.
What you said about it was that, which I agree with. It was like a Pixar movie with Godzilla because he was
Yeah,
the only character.
it felt like a Pixar animated short, but the main character was Godzilla. It was,
It was
very,
pretty cool. I like that.
I'm waiting for the sequel. I'm waiting for the sequel of Godzilla versus Detroit.
Not necessarily Netherlands, but one of my favorite
There's
monster
plenty of things
movies.
to destroy there.
Troll
Hunter.
Hunter.
Care.
I
Troll
love
Hunter.
Troll Hunter. Yeah,
I
that's a
still
great
want to
movie.
see that one.
What the
I want to see that.
fuck, Andre?
I can't. I'm only one man. I can't see everything.
You should be saying Troll Hunter.
No, they took
Oh,
it
hey,
out Netflix a while ago.
Yeah, one more time, Andres.
I haven't seen Troll Hunter.
No, you were the after that.
I haven't seen Troll Hunter.
No, after that.
I can't see everything. I'm just one man.
You were yelling at me because of Ultron. I was watching Comment on Amazon at that time.
You were the person I saw comments about wanting to do a Troll Hunter comic, right?
Yeah, actually, my publisher is contacting people
Ooh.
to see how possible that might be.
That would be so
I would
cool.
love to see that done in your art style. I haven't gotten to see Troll Hunter yet, but based on what I have seen, I would
bad.
love to see it in your art style.
Like the trolls themselves are a little goofy in design here
Yeah.
and there.
Yeah.
But like the whole movie is awesome. And my ideas would be to do like short. It would almost be like the Hellboy short stories of his past stuff, like in like the 50s and 60s, where it's like 5 or 6 pages of him fighting some demon or whatever.
Yeah.
Similar with Hans, the troll hunter guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, like just like old stories of him, like and whatnot. But yeah,
I
I love that movie
character.
so hard.
Yeah,
like
like,
I just watched it again like
Like
last week,
Dylan.
like
I'm not sure
7
if
or
you
8
hear me right
times
now,
now.
but like you mentioned, like you forgot it.
I gotta
forgot about
rewatch it.
my
It's been a couple
voice.
years.
Is that a good thing or is that a bad thing?
Man, I watched it once, twice in one day.
Damn.
Yeah,
It's not that long of a movie too. It's a nice breezy watch. It's
and
well
it's
paced.
like a travel film too. So
Yeah.
it's just
So it's better than Troll 2.
yes.
Which
Say
Is
that.
it more fun than Troll 2?
yeah,
Yes,
Okay.
definitely.
because it's a like a found footage thing.
Yeah.
Oh,
But it's also like completely realistic and believable.
Yeah, I've seen some still images of the one like gigantic troll, and it looks
Yeah.
pretty impressive.
Like, do you know the premise of it?
There's a guy who hunts trolls.
Not necessarily, not
Okay.
exactly.
It's more
Trolls
complicated than that.
Yeah, trolls are real, and he works for the government. He's like their animal control.
Oh, okay.
So like when they get out of their certain areas that they normally inhabit, he'll either get them back in there or kill them, and like there's a veterinarian that deals with trolls, and so it's all kind of hush stuff, like but government run. And like at one point,
So the public is unaware of the trolls.
the big troll, which is on the posters, the Jotnar, his area is, they ring it with like the high tension towers.
Right.
And at one point, they're going to see like he knocked one of them down, which is really unusual because they usually keep him in. And the people who are filming, they're looking at the wires and asking the guys at the power station, have you ever wondered where these go? And they're looking and they just go in a circle, and they're like, no, I never wondered. Huh. And like they never realize that it's the giant fence.
Yeah.
Right.
So they explain everything really realistically, and he's just like such a badass.
Yeah.
And he's got to go get a blood sample from a troll and then kill it. Ugh.
Isn't this movie from like Sweden or something?
Norway.
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 Yeah.
Norway.
Yeah.
I love the way he kills the trolls too, because he doesn't use guns. He uses a big UV gun, like
Yeah.
a big UV
Yeah.
light that just
And-
turns them into
and-
stone.
He lets
These are
lets
like,
these
Hobbit
kids
trolls.
from this college film him because he's tired of it.
They
And
think
he-
he's a poacher.
Yeah.
Right.
Like,
And they eventually find out he's the troll guy, and he lets them film him even though he shouldn't, because he's tired of the job. He's the only one, and he doesn't get like hazard pay or anything, so he's like, fuck this, I don't care anymore.
Yeah, he wants to fuck over the government.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the ending is so
The
nebulous
ending's great.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like with the scenery and the way they do it, and the actual trolls are sparse, but well done, and just so good.
Mhm.
Like
I wanted
it's
to watch it when it was on
everything
Netflix, and apparently it's not there anymore.
No, it is.
Oh, it's still on
It
there?
is. It is. I watched it last week. On
Oh,
Netflix.
okay.
Okay. I thought it was gone. Cool.
And if
Yeah,
not, just go to
everything that
Foot Locker.
Cloverfield could have been.
Yeah, it is a bit
Yeah.
like that. It's a low key grounded monster story where the monsters aren't the focus.
As much as people love Cloverfield, I do think there's a little bit of wasted potential.
Yeah, I love it too, but
The human story isn't there. It's very kind of you don't. It's not. It's those characters don't engross you enough in their kind of little narrative that they could have done something more interesting with that idea of what people are doing when a monster attacks a city.
It sort of, to a lesser degree, reminds me of like what I've heard people say about the first Purge film, where they're like, "This has a really cool premise, but they don't do anything with it. It just turns into a home invasion movie."
Yeah, definitely.
Let's see. I know we had 2 questions from Jacob Kaiju, but there is one more I want to address. I thought this was a G-Fest stream. What's this about trolls? Well,
There are plenty of trolls at G-Fest.
Yes.
Yeah. Funny trolls.
obviously,
Now, did the film ever, to talk more about trolls, did the movie ever gone to the subject of internet trolls?
no.
The most deadly of all trolls.
How do they
Certainly
keep,
the most annoying.
how do they
Yes.
keep, how do they
The
keep
apex
those out
predators of the internet.
The same thing, like bright
Norwegian.
lights.
Yeah, you kill them with UV lights. Yeah, turn to
Right.
stone.
All right, so let's see.
We haven't seen any troll bridges around, but we have seen plenty of
Distract them
troll-
with
troll
internet
bridges.
porn.
Give them a new target to be negative. Let's see, but okay, Kaiju.
Oh,
Which old giant monster movie would you guys remake?
Agon.
Oh,
yeah, we talked about that.
Yeah.
question.
I already have my answer. For a while now, I've had this concept of a War of the Gargantuas remake, and I'm not going to get into what it is, but there's a concept that I have. So
Yeah.
that's my default
Yeah.
answer.
Like Agon, I would like to see maybe a Gamera style Young Gary trilogy. Let's see.
Rodan.
Rodan,
I would
okay.
love to remake
That's a-
Rodan.
that's
Yeah,
another
I don't.
one.
Man,
That's
I,
another
Actually, I
one.
wouldn't. I actually wouldn't mind
I
seeing
don't
Rodan
think
get a
that
solo
needs to be
series.
redone, except maybe modernized, because everything in that was so.
I used to have a concept of how to do a modern Rodan film, and my problem is they pretty much use the exact same plot in G2014.
Hmm.
Because my idea was you do Rodan and you do the Meganulas like you had in the original movie, but then you actually have a Megaguirus come out of those, like we got in Godzilla vs. Megaguirus, and have Rodan fight that, and they kind of did something similar with the Mutos and
You know, I actually had the idea for like giving Rodan a solo series. Like the first one would probably follow that, and somewhere I would introduce the idea of a subspecies Rodan where it follows the original concept of it originally going to be an Ophiopteryx, that feathered the feathered creature.
I didn't know that was the original premise of Rodan.
No, not the original premise, but the original concept version of Rodan. They originally wanted to go with that, but then they changed it to a pterodactyl.
if I can give a second answer, I would love to see Daimajin come back.
Ooh,
in any
yes,
capacity.
yes.
Yeah, I'll second that for sure.
You said
Although
young-
that's another one where like you can't find anything wrong with any of the originals.
Right,
at all.
exactly. And even if it was being made by America, I mean, you could have an archaeologist bring a statue back from Japan; it would be fine. Like you
Yeah.
can do anything with it.
Yeah.
Yep, Daimajin. I mean, actually, Beast would be a good candidate for a reboot if they hadn't sort of already done it.
With Godzilla.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I would love to like not remake a movie into a new movie, but rather remake a movie into a television show, and that would be Mechagodzilla. I had this idea in my head,
Like a sitcom.
almost like a 70s super robot anime.
Like
With-
Red Baron.
Yes, with Mechagodzilla and Katsura, where you have Katsura being able to pilot or control Mechagodzilla. Where I can imagine, like, I remember from Kikaider there was a female android, and actually 2 of them, I believe. And I figure, like, would it be cool if, like, we turned Katsura from Terror Mechagodzilla into like this crime-fighting cyborg superhero, but when the situation gets too much for her, she calls upon the power of Mechagodzilla.
only if Dr. Mifune can be back at base, like
Right, he is
talking to her through the
he is like the Professor Kabuto from the Singer Z. He's like
And
the
then
crazy
you could
old
work
man.
in Doctor Who as the villain.
Yes.
Yes.
You could have- and then
But
you
you're
could do-
King Kong Escapes.
And then
is what
you
I'd
could
like to
do-
see remade.
and then you could do
Oh,
Mechagodzilla
yeah,
versus
another
Mechanic
one.
Kong.
Yes.
It'd be great.
So it'd
Actually-
be like Giant Robo meets Godzilla.
Yes.
Gorgo. I'd love
Gorgo,
to see
yes.
Gorgo with
The
kind of
Gorgo
a
remake.
different, like a different story, like something different with that. Just do a sequel.
I
Just
know.
do a sequel about the baby.
No,
Okay,
actually, here's something. I had an idea for a sequel of Gorgo. I had an idea where in the beginning, after they leave, the military actually kills both of them, and then the dad finds out they're killed, and then he goes on a really destructive rampage.
Well,
I mean, it's kind of the same as the first.
it is, but it's like it's more of a vengeance
You-
story.
I
Do you
think at
know,
this point
like,
in the game,
the reason why they survived?
because the giant behemoth. Because it died at the end, and the daughter of the producer or the director saw that, and he was like, "Oh, she's really sad. Maybe at this one we should have a happy ending."
Yeah, she goes, "Daddy, why did the monster die?"
Yeah.
at this point in the game, though, I think we would be way more likely to see a remake than a sequel. But here's the thing about Gorgo: it's super easy to remake. You take that same exact story, you just change the city to whatever city you want the mama to show up in.
I mean, they've tried
I mean-
it. They've tried it with other characters. I mean, they even tried it with Godzilla with the '80s 3D movie. It was basically going to be a remake.
Yeah,
of
I've read
Gorgo.
that
Yeah.
script. It's basically just Gorgo.
I gotta read that at some point because it sounds
It's
so
just
weird.
Gorgo with Godzilla, and then it ends on Alcatraz.
Does he have the atomic
Alcatraz.
breath or?
If I'm remembering correctly, yes. And yes, at the end they kill him on Alcatraz Island.
Like Jacob's question.
Yeah.
All right, so let's see. Also, Christopher, would you love to see a movie version of Night of the Fire Beast?
Absolutely, and it's on the radar of a company actually.
Oh,
Yeah,
Huh?
it's technically in a very roundabout way on Universal's radar, which is cool. Thanks to Matt Denyon, actually.
Yeah,
Comic
because
Rex.
he got a possible deal.
He was telling me he's close to having stuff being pitched.
Mhm.
So it looks like Rex, if things go well, might be like direct to video or something,
Mhm.
which would be cool. But
Oh,
Matt Denyon is such a nice guy that when he went in to talk to Universal about Atomic Rex, he actually brought Night of the Fire Beast.
Oh.
And I guess there was some other movie concept that never got made
Mhm.
that was similar but more of a parody. So, like, he said a lot of people in the studio liked it
Mhm.
enough.
Oh, look who returned!
Yeah.
Cal has found his way back.
I somehow ended up on that one. I have no idea. The street shift, actually, is really weird. Hard to
They
explain.
reshuffle.
Very good.
They're
Very
like,
different
they're
than
like
New
the
York.
stairs in Harry Potter. They like to
This
change.
whole neighborhood is the hotel from The Shining. Like,
That's true,
Yeah.
actually. But anyway,
Mhm.
and I guess the remnants of this concept, they still really like it, and Fire Beast is similar enough that like it, I guess they're interested in that a little bit, and this isn't to say there's any actual interest, just
Mhm.
somebody there knows about us,
Yes.
which is cooler than nothing.
Like someone has put the foot has been placed in what's the phrase again?
In the door,
In the door. Yeah, someone
Yeah.
put their foot in the door.
and that was Matt.
Yes.
Which was really awesome. It would be interesting to see how you would have to do it, because you'd almost have to do it as a behind-the-scenes film
That's
about the
right,
making of the
Yeah.
yeah. Essentially,
Like, kinda like
Ed
Ed
Wood.
Wood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or do you bookend it with the behind-the-scenes thing, and in the middle it's just the movie?
Yeah, which,
Or you can just there was another movie, I think it was made in the 90s, about a company trying to make a 50s giant bug monster movie.
I think that might have been the movie Matt was talking about, but he implies that it hadn't been made.
No, I saw it.
Oh,
and
okay.
every once in a while they cut back to footage of the film, and then they transition back
I
to.
think I know what you're talking about. It was actually a. Are you sure the movie's not called Mant by any chance?
It's Man.
Yeah, that was that was directed by Joe Dante. It was like a compilation project with all these different directors.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and Joe Dante was working on Mant, which is essentially about a guy becoming a giant ant, and it's pretty funny. And I don't know, I forgot the name of the movie, but if you guys could look it up, like it's essentially called Mant. I'm not sure what the movie came from, but it's essentially that each of these directors take from different like, you know, like those old movies that you would see at a drive-in theater. They basically take like the 50s, the 70s, 80s. Like they take each one of those eras and they make like scenes out of them for each
Right.
one. It's like an anthology movie preview thing almost.
I think, like, obviously Fire Beast, it would have to be like, I don't know, like a serious comedy.
Like a comedy played straight.
Yeah,
Like The Incredibles almost, maybe.
it kind of, and like I know who I want to play Mac.
Oh, really?
Shadow of the
Mac.
Empire.
when I drew him was kind of based on Jim Beaver,
Mhm.
he was known from Deadwood and Supernatural. He played Bobby on Supernatural.
Nice.
But yeah, something like that would be cool. I would love to see that. Or if any one of the 5 people listening
Mhm.
actually, like, I would love to see like a fan thing, or even have someone make a suit. That would be fantastic.
Yeah.
Jacob Baker.
Just say that.
Tell me,
I,
Jacob, man, who's your man?
I know a certain individual who made a fictionalized radio trailer for featuring the character Dorugan.
Yeah.
As another individual made a drawing of Robot God Akamatsu punching Dorugan right in the gut.
Yeah, which yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Where's that guy at?
Where is he?
Let's go kick his ass.
I'm ready.
I like that it was just like a gut punch, though. Like, ugh.
Which is the cheapest of all punches because you're just
Yeah.
like, dude, what?
I remember you commented saying that's an illegal maneuver.
Yes. Well, it looked like a low blow too.
Oh my god! It did.
Should have made it a double punch. Whereas
Right
he's
in the-
punching him in the gut, he's catching him in the face. Like,
No, Dorugan got no offense.
Yeah.
Yeah, nothing.
Yeah.
Dorugan was
Nothing.
totally blindsided.
Yeah, it was a
Maybe
Pearl
I'll-
Harbor.
Maybe he'll get his chance in the Toku edition.
What a jip.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Dorugan remembers.
Who's that? Who's that?
He-
Anything?
He'll find me and he'll kill me.
Somebody's. That's all.
It wasn't.
I thought
It
you were
wasn't
on the joke.
Akamatsu's fault.
I was just down to kick somebody's ass, you know.
Yeah, I mean, whoever.
It's me and my experimentations.
Okay, Sci-Fi Dragon asks, this is a bit of a scientific question. Could the Transformers be considered a silicon-based form of life?
No,
I don't fucking know.
Ah.
They're made of metal, right?
they're not Megiddo from Dragon Ball Super.
No.
I mean, they're clearly robots. It's just
No.
not. I mean, it's robots in disguise. It's just not clear, like their origins are.
Well,
Weird. I don't know.
the way I've usually seen it done is Primus like just expels sparks and then they get put into bodies,
Yeah.
and those bodies have nothing to
There's
do with the
something.
actual
There's
spark.
something called the Well of Souls, right? And it's just where like sparks come.
That's from Raiders of the Lost Ark.
You're right. There's something called the Well of something. Or,
No, I know
The
what you're talking
Fountain of
about.
Youth.
The Fountain of Youth.
Yeah,
Fountain
on
of
Stranger Tides
Yes.
or something.
Oh.
The Black
So I guess
Pearl.
the answer is no.
No,
No.
No.
But they're so inconsistent. What exactly the Transformers are? Who knows? Like sometimes they mate, sometimes they don't. Like
I
you
mean,
know,
it's one of those.
Sometimes
franchises.
they feel like it.
yeah, sometimes they don't.
It's just one of those franchises where like it just depends on who's running it.
I mean,
And even in the franchises where they don't mate, then it makes you wonder like, so why is RC?
Yeah, why are there females?
Why are
and
there
males?
females
It's
and
just
males?
personalities. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Do
then,
they
like,
grow up, or do they just start out however, or you know?
and apparently, like the
AIs?
IDW comics, they make it to where like the majority of the Transformers are male, but they actually have like life partners.
Oh,
Yeah,
interesting. Okay.
yeah,
It's like
yeah.
Optimus and Bumblebee are like,
LGB Transformers.
yeah, I guess so.
Or they're
Interesting.
they're just
The
they're
T
just like
stands for.
Yeah.
I always thought it was transsexual.
Cop has been repressing his true feelings for all his life, and now he's finally in his old age. Just
Now
like,
I-
I'm just gonna let it out.
Now I know.
Knowing it's half the battle.
The more you know.
Now we've included G.I. Joe in this conversation.
Yeah, exactly.
No,
Now this conversation.
Transformers did some of those TV spots too back in the day.
Did they really?
Now I know.
No, not that. The
Ultraman
no,
Randy
it's not that.
Savage would
Yeah,
be
they would say that.
completely
Oh, did they
epic.
really?
They were just like the
Oh,
G.I.
no,
Joe
I
TV
drew
spots.
that.
Oh, you did?
Yes, I did.
Oh,
I'll show you some.
I'll send you a picture of it.
please do.
let's see. A Naing asks, does anybody watch The Walking Dead? If you do, who do you think Negan killed? And how about that new Kong Skull Island news?
I only know.
We're getting a trailer in a week. God, I hope that movie's good.
Did you saw the teaser image with
Yeah.
the skull?
Yeah, no, I really hope
I didn't
that
see the
movie's
skull. I saw the title.
Mhm.
Yeah, I saw.
Good. There we go.
Those
There you
old
go.
folks are at it again.
I only know one character's name from Walking Dead, so my answer is Coral.
Coral.
Does anybody here actually watch The Walking Dead?
No.
No.
okay.
A little bit. I watched it when I roomed with Ryan.
I've seen.
Oh, okay.
I've seen some because my uncle's into it, but like I haven't ever watched it myself. Just like
I don't hate it. It's
I'm not really a zombie guy, so it just didn't really appeal. Like I watched a couple minutes of the first episode when it aired because it was a really big deal when it first came on, and there was a Night of the Living Dead marathon beforehand, so I watched all that.
So what was that conversation we had with Day of the Dead to you then?
One of the
I
ones
like
you
that movie. It's one of the
Yeah,
ones I
yeah.
like.
Well, so you're saying you're not a zombie guy. Well,
I,
that's a
I
zombie
like
movie.
that one.
Yes.
What's your favorite cryptid?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
That's
No,
right.
wait. The Dogora.
Oh, right.
Do-
Sci-Fi
Dogora.
Dragon asks, how would you guys feel about a Dogora remake?
Dogora the Space Ones?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the jellyfish one with the.
I haven't seen that movie,
with
so
a-
I can't comment.
I'd watch it. Why not?
Yeah, I haven't seen it, but I'll
While I
accept a remake.
while I haven't watched it, I've gotten a very good description by my friend Patrick Galvin, aka the Unknown 837. So it's certainly a film that kind of looks like it's got a lot of good ideas. So I could be down with that.
Yeah, the only issue with that movie is that it's got like the. I think wasn't that movie made by Cheryl Honda?
Yes, it was.
Yeah, and you
Yeah.
can tell like this is the point in his career where he didn't want to do giant monster movies anymore. He wanted to go off and start doing other things, but he was contractually obligated to continue doing monster movies. So this one, you can feel like his heart wasn't really in it, but he wanted to try something else. So he had that whole diamond heist gangster subplot going on. And unfortunately, that the diamond heist plot and the giant monster plot do not fit well at all. They do not like mesh very well.
Was it giant monsters heisting diamonds?
See, now that
yes.
I watched-
Yeah.
that
Actually, yeah,
happens
the-
in Kong King of the Apes.
The
though.
jellyfish,
What was that gangster
the
plot?
jellyfish, he's just like stealing, jacking diamonds because apparently it
No,
eats
wasn't a gangster
diamonds,
plot. They wanted to
and
control
that's how
Godzilla
it.
for
That's
terrorists, actually.
kind of how the diamond
That's a little
heist
better, though.
people get sucked into this plot.
Oh, weird.
It's rather contrived, and it's like again the blending of genres. As much as I love seeing that in media, it does not work well here. I feel like, and also watching Dogora made me appreciate how well Ghidorah the Three-Headed Monster handled that. It
Yeah,
handled
with
like
the spy story. Yeah,
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 this
yeah.
political
Espionage,
yeah.
assassination attempt. Yeah.
Right. They were able to combine that and the giant monster stuff rather well.
I mean, end of the day, if you make a kaiju remake, I'm gonna watch it. I mean,
Yeah.
Oh, especially
Yeah,
you
yeah.
get so few now that I'm just
Also,
like monster
especially
movie. I'm
something
there.
obscure
If you're
like Dogora, that's amazing.
If you're gonna
Like,
remake Dogora, keep the jellyfish throughout the whole movie. Do not blow up the jellyfish halfway through the movie,
Don't
And then
blow up the
repla-
jellyfish.
and then replace it with a bunch of small floating rocks.
I mean, if they did this, I would think it was awesome, just because that's kind of an obscure movie. Like, you can always count on Godzilla and King Kong to get their remakes.
They'll always every 10 years you're gonna get.
I mean, Gamera's a little iffy at the moment, but
I'd go for a Mysterians.
Yeah,
That's
If it were
different.
Japanese.
That's more likely to happen in America though, because that's more well known here than a lot of other Toho's independent sci-fi stuff.
and it's a very easy movie to remake too. It's
Yeah.
like it's like a
As long as
universal monster
Mogera gets a
film.
better shot. I mean, because he got
Yes.
a really crap deal.
they
on
just
that.
like trip him in that movie. It's insane. And then
They
go-
tripped him, and then like something falls on him.
and then the second Mogera's in the movie for like 5 seconds. So
Yeah.
Oh yeah, like the thing I found about the Mysterians is they were originally going to have a kaiju in that film, like a legit kaiju.
I think the Mogera should have got as much exposure as like the saucers did.
I gotta
Oh,
buy
yeah.
that
World
Mogera
Worlds.
tomorrow. I just gotta do it.
the Revel Tech.
Yeah.
Oh, I also learned that Mogira actually comes from the Japanese word for mole.
Yeah.
Mole.
That's why
Oh,
he's
that
adorable.
explains like the drill and everything.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the early concept art, he was actually going to be a mole kaiju.
Interesting.
It is
Yeah.
interesting. Yeah.
Controlled by the mole people.
It's like
That's a great movie.
it's almost like at one point Mogira was almost going to be a real boy like
Damn it,
Pinocchio.
Oh, D, you gone fucked up.
I'm drunk. Leave me alone.
Let's see. The Toho Society asks, "What's your favorite cryptid?"
Oh,
I have so many of them, but
I
I
know
picked
Will's
one.
answer.
But off the top of my head, I'm
I
gonna
don't.
say chupacabra,
Maybe.
Yeah, it's like the
and the
clo-
Puerto Rican species.
it's like
Okay.
the chupacabra is almost like the closest to being a legit thing, where it just turns out to be
A dog.
dogs with mange.
Well, that's a Texan species, not the Puerto Rican species.
Yeah, who knows? Because the Puerto Rican one's described very differently.
It is very
Actually, like the Texan variety also been captured on film
So what's yours?
No, they have.
in San
Chupacabra.
Diego.
Use it.
Andres?
well,
Let's
then,
see. I gotta say, this might sound really cliche, but I got handed to Nessie, the Loch Ness Monster. It was the one that got me into cryptids and got me excited at the idea that dinosaurs, or not, it's technically not a dinosaur, but Mesozoic animals could still be living among us
I guess I
today.
would also have to go with Nessie just because I was huge into Nessie when I was younger.
Mhm.
Not so much now because it's so debunked.
Yeah,
But-
that's done. Yeah.
And we talked about Champy earlier, but I have Bigfoot for me. Totally Bigfoot.
yeah.
Okay, Bigfoot's the thing that like defined my life in terms of being into cryptozoology when I was young.
Uh-huh.
Very specifically,
Yeah, I'm getting more into Bigfoot now because of you.
it's
but
got to be the skunk ape for me though. I love the skunk ape. So the skunk ape is the Floridian variety of Sasquatch.
Yeah.
Now, for those of you who don't know, the southern Sasquatch is a brutal, redneck, crazy motherfucker. He doesn't give a fuck.
Wears
He
flannels.
kills people. He's got 3-toed feet. It's great.
Overalls.
Yeah, he's got overalls, a shotgun, missing teeth.
Southern Sasquatch is
Wait a
also
minute,
a fantastic doom band.
Is this a cryptid or Fuzzy Lumpkins from Powerpuff Girls?
Both.
I thought I was Southern Sasquatch.
So you still are in my heart. But the skunk ape. So when I was a kid,
Actually, I think that's Denny.
Oh yeah.
Oh, is he from?
Yeah, well, he's from Kansas.
Oh, okay.
so after one of the hurricane, it might have been Hurricane Katrina. I cannot remember, but there was a newspaper article that my grandma pulled out of the paper for me when I was a kid,
Mhm.
and it was about a woman who was walking along a road one day, and she looked in a ditch, and she just saw like something like curled up in the ditch, and she like went over to look at it, and it just got up and looked at her, and she said it was a skunk ape, like a big Sasquatch looking thing that just kind of looked at her. Like took a couple steps towards her, and then she just bolted, and then it bolted, which is usually how most Bigfoot encounters go. But that story like became ingrained in my memory from childhood. So the skunk ape was always like a very specific aspect of the Bigfoot lore that always spoke to me, because it was a little bit more a little bit scarier. Like he was a little bit more aggressive and everything. And there's this terrifying supposed picture of one online. Have you seen
The 2001.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it looks like an orangutan that's just like growling at the camera. It's probably bullshit, but it's really scary looking. So who knows?
Another one that's like really cool and gnarly looking is the Jersey Devil. Like that
Yes.
thing just
Mhm.
looks
Yeah.
awesome.
Mothman.
Oh,
yeah.
I love
Mothman.
Mothman.
Jersey Devil's number 2 for me.
I love like that he's like usually like used as like an omen. Like he shows up and then something bad happens, like the whole bridge collapsing thing.
Yeah.
Have you
That's so
seen the Richard
interesting.
Gere movie,
Oh,
The
like,
Mothman Prophecies?
I think we watched like 20 minutes of it. It
Yeah,
was like
that.
so
I don't even
terrible.
remember.
That's what I did. I got 20 minutes in, and I'm like, what is this? Like, the best shot is when you see like what looks like it's supposed to be a Mothman, like flying at the camera when it hits their car. Yeah, whatever. That movie is, it's
yeah, it
weird.
was shit.
Yeah, if you-
Sci-fi made a Mothman movie later that was more of what you'd expect,
Mhm.
with it like actually killing people and stuff. But
If you want to see a Mothman in film, just go watch the Lost Tapes episode of the Mothman.
Oh
I
yeah.
don't remember
I
that.
love
one.
Lost Tapes.
Lost Tapes is great.
It's
I love
that
Lost
episode
Tapes.
is creepy.
Was that last year?
It is
years
really
ago.
creepy, that episode.
Was it
Really
Deathworm? That was one of the creepy ones.
It's also a good
I would
band.
say it's on par with that.
The Southern Sasquatch they did for the
Deathworm.
Lost Tapes was great.
They opened for Southern Sasquatch.
I would love to. I would love to see that collab. Yeah.
I
But
saw
those
it on
Deathworm
there.
things, there's something like that are actually real. They
And
like
behind you
they're
right now.
some kind of like
You know, Jersey
worm,
Devil's
like,
also a
it's
pretty good
similar.
band
It's like
name.
actually
Damn it,
shit that I
Wormy.
found it.
Huh. I've never heard of that. That's
Oh.
crazy.
No, but I love
Skunk Ape.
What was
that's
the
a good one.
question?
Another one that's kind of neat is the is Mothman's step cousin
I don't-
twice
I don't think I
removed,
know
Owl,
the actual
the
definition.
Death Raptor, or
Like just
the Owl Man.
Man, that's a good
I've
one.
never heard of that.
Like,
Yeah,
like
that
it's
one
a creature that's rumored to exist,
British.
but-
Yeah, it's like the British version of
Myth, everyone
Mothman.
says Bigfoot.
And-
Jersey Devil's like probably number 2 for me.
Okay.
Oh, sorry.
It's fine.
I'm sorry. I was,
Some of
I'm
us
trying
are
to figure
drunk
out,
splits
like,
right
that-
now.
yeah, because I was just telling Bill about the Owl Man.
Let's give some love to the Thunderbird. I love me some Thunderbird.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, that was a
Yeah,
great
why
show.
not? Yeah.
God, that was not a great show. You can get the hell out of here.
Hey,
Get your
hey.
marionette puppets out of here.
hey, Team America.
Yes.
Yeah, we couldn't have had Team
I have
America.
to- I have to
The
give
Team America is my favorite Thunderbird.
But we can't forget about Bill's favorite, a Yeti.
The Yeti was always like number 2 for me, because the skunk ape is like the marriage between the Yeti and the Bigfoot. I think that's why I
Yeah.
like it so
How
much.
do you feel about Yetis that are engaged in gay love stories?
The best Yetis. There was one more I was going to mention. There is one in Argentina that's like a dinosaur. It's just a straight up velociraptor that they went looking for in Destination Truth once.
Mhm.
What's that one
It's
in
another
Africa?
awesome show.
Yeah, Destination Truth is great.
What's that
Yeah.
one in Africa that's just like a dinosaur?
Melee or
There's a couple. There's the Michalian Bembe, which is the
sauropod.
sauropod
Yeah, that
one,
one's interesting.
and then there's the pterodactyl one, which is a pterodactyl.
They also have
Here's
some-
a question: the Velociraptor one.
Yeah.
Was there a myth about that before Jurassic Park made Velociraptors?
I don't
popular?
know. That's the thing. I
That's
gotta
an
rewatch the
excellent
episode.
question.
I think so.
They also have a Bigfoot type creature in Australia called a yowie.
The Yowie is also
The
very
Yowie,
good.
yeah.
That's
The
like
Yowie
huge
is
fangs.
a slimmed down, mean, like almost stealthy version of Bigfoot, and that's terrifying.
Stealth foot.
Yeah, stealth.
He's Ninja
Lightfoot.
Also released a whole
He's
bunch of
Ninja
awesome
Bigfoot.
albums in the 70s.
Yowie.
Don't they-
Jordan
don't they,
Lightfoot.
Yeah, Bill, he's Ninja Bigfoot.
Don't they like maul dogs and stuff? Or supposedly.
Pretty much all Bigfoots have been reported to be really hard.
They maul dogs, and then the dingoes eat the babies. It's a terrible place to live.
So does that mean Bigfoot likes cats? Or I guess?
There's a very popular meme online of like Bigfoot eating a cat, and then the Yeti is eating the Bigfoot eating a cat. There's the T-shirt of that. I don't
No, see,
really
I
get
like
what the
the
joke
meme.
is.
I like to think that Bigfoot is a cat ape. You know, I like to think that.
Well, I mean, it's weird. You hear inconsistent like just descriptions of Bigfoot. Like sometimes, a lot of people it's like, oh, it's a tree hugging, lovable ape, and then other times it's
No,
like,
it's not.
well, and then other times it's like, well, no, it's a real animal, and if you piss it off, it'll rip you in half.
What's that? The really famous Bigfoot podcast.
Sasquatch Chronicles.
Maybe that's it. Yeah, you could, like he's
Bigfoot
one of
Hotspot. Bigfoot
Is it-
Hotspot Radio is also another one that's popular.
because he's one of the guys who's like it's an animal and it will fucking kill you.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
there's description. Yeah.
Anybody a wrestling fan?
Yes, of course.
That guy
I
was
know
actually on
things
Chris
about it.
Jericho's podcast.
I was about to say, yeah, Chris Jericho does a lot of like Yeti talk. Dean Ambrose was just on his podcast, and they were talking about Bigfoot the whole time, and it was hilarious.
Sounds like Joe Rogan.
Yeah. Well, you got Joe
Did
Rogan,
he
so,
mention
yeah.
that Bigfoot tried to kidnap Mitch?
No, he didn't mention that, but he was like
He almost choked.
they were talking about how like there's such a huge landscape of this earth that like there's no like way human beings can just observe every little bit of it. So there's just
Yeah.
no way we can know like if there's Yeti
They did
or
a
a
great job.
Bigfoot or some
They did a
sort,
great
yeah.
job of going into that in the first episode of a show that we reviewed, the Joe Rogan Questions Everything, where they're talking about Bigfoot and they go into the woods and they really just did a great job of portraying like how fucking dense these woods are.
Yeah.
Plus,
Oh, you know-
whenever
no,
there's a
no,
show,
I'm sorry.
Whenever there's a show, they spend like at the most 5 days.
Yeah.
At the most, you would have to be in the woods for like a year.
You have to devote your life to it.
Yeah,
You really would.
like every day, like live there.
And that's what always drove me crazy about Destination Truth. It's just like you're there for like a night.
yeah.
Right.
And also,
But, like,
if a bunch of people come in with cameras, you really think they're gonna come out and come up to you and
And
everything?
half of it's like Ghost Hunter,
yeah.
where it's all in green, and they're like,
And
"You hear
everybody
that?"
sh-
I'm like,
everybody's shouting like, "Oh shit! Did you hear that?" It's like, well, what are you doing?
a bird
It's a-
farts
it's
a
a
few feet
deer.
away, and everybody's like, "Oh my god!" oh my God."
Get in a tree stand. You set up a camera for.
And like all the really famous old chronicles of Bigfoot were like trappers, and
Yeah.
hunters, and people who were there every day or lived in the woods.
And there was a guy, and I cannot remember his name, but he was a really famous Bigfoot researcher, and he did it legit. He went to the Himalayas for a year looking for the Yeti, and after that didn't pan out, he came back to the States to look for Bigfoot, and he was still working up to like the early 2000s. He probably passed away by now because he was real old by then.
I'm a fan of Meldrum.
Meldrum's the best.
awesome.
Yeah, Meldrum
Like,
is the best.
Did anybody see the show he was on where he and another scientist went to this cabin like in the middle of nowhere?
Sasquatch
and-
attack.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was kind of creepy.
that was
That's the one
very
where they were
creepy.
throwing the stones.
Yeah.
Where they had the nail board.
Yeah.
With the bloody footprint. Yeah, and they got legit DNA evidence off that. Supposedly.
Inconclusive.
Yeah.
Inconclusive, yeah.
Well,
Like,
they
like,
couldn't figure out what it was.
why would you not?
Yeah, sorry, we live on a flight path.
It's the Super X.
The Super X. Yeah.
Super X.
You're watching go fight Godzilla, it's fine.
It's the friggin' Blitzkrieg out here. You know, another.
It wasn't fireworks. It was flak.
Yeah.
Flak guns.
You know,
Aircraft.
a really good, or no, another really good cryptid is the Bear Lake monster.
What's that?
It's a it's kind of it's essentially if Nessie could walk on land, and if he was a ferocious killer.
Okay.
Like essentially, he's essentially the sea monster version of the skunk ape. Skunk ape.
Where is this?
There's also
It's in Bear Lake. What was it like?
Michigan?
Michigan. And that thing can both walk. It can walk on land, and it can also be in the water. So, and it's apparently a very ferocious creature. It won't afraid to come up to you and kill you.
I feel like every cryptid though, it's like people are always like, oh, it's ferocious, oh, it's very gentle. It's like, well, maybe it's like just an animal somewhere in between.
Yeah,
like
well,
you were saying
yeah,
before.
like essentially, it's like a Komodo dragon in water.
Like, if it's a reptile, it's gonna be more aggressive because
Yeah.
that's what they do.
Yeah,
you know? They're very territorial.
They're just
like,
assholes.
like and with Bigfoot and everything, those are giant mammals in
Yeah.
theory, so they're gonna
Yeah.
be very territorial.
Yeah,
as
they
well.
are.
Let's see. Thank you very much, Sci-Fi Dragon, for. I'm glad you enjoyed the radio trailer I did. Let's
'Cause we
see.
all made him feel bad about it.
Oh, and Jacob, thank you for telling me the name of the film.
And
I have to see Matinee again soon.
Yeah.
see, and there was another person in the comments who said that
Look
the
at him.
pterodactyl, the African
busy.
pterodactyl, was Ropin,
Oh,
real dark one.
I think they did that on Destination Treat as
Yeah.
well.
And I did see, for that one individual who gave a shout out for Trey the Explainer, I did see the video he made on Ropin, and that's how I found out about Ropin.
Yeah, we just started watching Trey
Yeah,
today when we were texting about it.
yeah,
Because
yeah.
I'd seen the Godzilla dinosaur one,
Right, right.
and then we started watching a few more.
Right. Yeah, I really like this guy. This guy is like clearly focused like solely on like hardcore evidence for his videos.
And he doesn't have short videos either.
Right. And he like his T-Rex video is like explaining why T-Rex most likely had feathers. It's like a half an hour long, and he has like all these references and all these people he's talked to for
And like I understand that that's headed to be some sort of science fact, but fuck feather dinosaurs.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
Fuck
fuck
them up their
that.
dumbasses. Fuck them right up their cloacas.
I think my favorite video from
Yeah.
him was how he's
Go
trying to
back in
explain
time,
how
fuck all their
Godzilla
fucking
could
feathers.
exist, as a real dinosaur.
right.
Yeah.
And given a lot of research that he went into for that, I could possibly see his conclusion as being, actually Godzilla.
But one thing he didn't actually touch on that, because we watched that right before you guys got here,
Yeah.
was that he's like, it could be this one or this one, but there's neither one has exact traits, but he wasn't considering the fact that the Godzillasaurus was found in modern times many years
That's
after.
And
true.
could
He would've-
evolve.
Yeah.
He would have continued to evolve like the
Right.
T-Rexes in Peter Jackson's King Kong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Which I loved, and I don't give a fuck what anyone says.
We just replayed it before we came here to
Yeah,
G-Fest.
it's great.
It's still great. Yeah.
I even watched the production tape set. I got the box set of that,
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
which is amazing.
Yeah.
And it's all his like weird daily production videos that they have. You seen any
Where
of
Peter
those?
Jackson
Yeah.
gets his
I watched most of
Peter
it,
Jackson
yeah.
gets his beard shaved off.
Not only that, but they would do sketches and like comedy stuff.
They did an
Like,
April
yeah.
Fool's video with this, where they like pitched a Son of Kong remake. And
Did you see the one with Gandalf?
No.
It was amazing.
My favorite thing was when they remade the Spider Pit sequence from the original.
Oh
film.
yeah.
Using
Yeah.
just
Really cool.
storyboards that were left over in like the script, and it looks amazing.
They also
Yep.
did. They also took the original King Kong mechan, like the original steel skeleton, and they put it in the wall, in the modern wall miniature set. That looks really
There are
cool.
also tons of great special features on the DVD, like explaining how they did like the dense forest, like in the original film. Like they set up little miniature sets with like just layers and layers of like trees and stuff.
Yeah.
And this is weird too, because apparently it's loathed and hated, but we have never run into anyone who hated that film.
Which one?
No,
The Peter Jackson Kong.
Oh yeah, like all of us generally, we really enjoy that movie.
Yeah.
But I feel like if you're not a Kong fan, that doesn't work for
there's
you.
only one.
You know,
There's only one
Which
scene
is
that I-
weird
that-
because
that's
like
the ice skating scene.
yeah, well, you gotta have a Disney thing. You gotta have a Disney.
They
thing.
had to take like the '76 version of Kong, where he was very kind of gentle, and they had to take that relationship between Dwan and Kong and like add it to the original story. And I think that bugged some people. Maybe like they made it more like. They made it more like she was on Kong's side and everything, and she kind of understood
But
him.
at least it was like just like a friendship in 05, whereas in 76 he
Oh, it was a creepy like.
I tried to rape you, honey.
Yeah, and what she did. That
And
snake
I-
showed up at the
I
right time.
think-
I mean, did you see King Kong's face in that shot?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
we just did a commentary on that recently.
Yeah.
So.
Jack Black pissed a lot of people off on that for some reason. And
We were talking about that. On when-
His characterization of Carl Denham is interesting. I'll just always like the original.
A lot of
one
people
more.
just don't like Jack
always
Black.
thought he was kind of
yeah,
nice
yeah, I
on that
do.
film.
So I guess I liked it.
He
It
likes
just-
Tenacious D.
Yeah, I
For
think
me, it just depends on what I see him in. I mean,
Like,
he's
if-
one of those actors, you know.
if O'Brien could have made that movie, he would have done as much stuff as Peter Jackson could
Right.
have done.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Let's
So,
see.
but yeah, like still never found anyone who hated it. But apparently everyone hates it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That seems to be like
It's
the
not
popular
remembered very fondly,
opinion
yeah.
now. Yeah,
it
yeah.
sucks because I still really like that movie. I mean, it's
Yeah,
been-
me too.
I haven't rewatched it in full in like a year, but
I think I
every time
rewatched it
do,
last
it's always-
year.
It's always
I mean,
enjoyable.
I think
Yeah.
I think the one complaint that I think is pretty common is a lot of people are do think that it's overly long.
Well, I think that's certainly
And
something
I
that you
think
can knock
I think
against
that,
it.
and I think certainly you could cut some things here and there.
Probably. I the more monsters.
Yeah, that's my
I mean, and that
thought.
doesn't
yeah.
bother me. I'm
The
a
one
guy
wants to-
who only watches the extended cuts of Lord of the Rings. So,
But that's why I think Kong fans kind of remember it more fondly than the general public does, because we like that sort of extrapolated detail that he added to it, whereas people are like, just get to the fucking point already,
Oh,
But I like
Yeah.
that drawn out.
That's
detail.
Or
yeah,
or
like
what her dad said, which we were talking about Kong, and he's like, I'd like the original from the 70s best.
You hear that a lot.
And then I left the room.
Yeah,
Well, you know,
I almost had to go.
That's my mom's Kong.
Yeah.
She loves
no,
that.
Yeah,
that,
my
that
mom
was my
too, yeah.
Kong.
Yeah,
That was the first monster movie I saw. I saw it in the theater with my dad.
I saw that one before I saw 33.
That was the very first monster movie I actually
Yep,
ever saw.
I love that. And like even before that, like I remember, again, when I was a kid, you couldn't just watch whatever movie. So my dad would actually tell me the story of the original Kong. So like I had that, and then the '76 Kong, and
That's a movie that people don't really remember very fondly, but I mean the score is great, and that death scene is probably the best Kong death scene.
A lot of visual effects look really good in that
Oh, the
film.
suit looks great.
Some of them don't,
And
but
some of them
a lot
don't,
of
yes,
it does
but-
look-
The
I thought a lot of
snake,
it does look
the
very-
snake looks pretty balls, but the suit is
Yeah, it does look pretty balls, and it's a weird like half python, half like viper design.
it's got like fangs. It's
and
Yeah,
not
it's very
having
strange.
dinosaurs.
Right.
Yeah,
it's no
I mean,
dinosaur,
Toho's
but-
been doing dinosaurs
I would-
since the 50s.
I would
Yeah.
love to know what the fuck the deal with that island is. Like, what the hell is going on there? Like, are they just? Is it just an island where the animals grew gigantic?
where there's
like,
two giant animals that we know of.
that's it. Like,
Well, actually, there is a prehistoric snake called Titanoboa, so maybe it was that.
Yeah.
no, I mean that's possible. I
That
just like
hadn't
to
been
know like
discovered
what
at the time.
exactly.
Also,
the-
That's true,
The
that's
cast
true.
of the '76 Kong was fantastic.
Oh, Jeff Bridges
Yeah.
is great in that.
Renee
Bridges.
Auberjonois.
Charles
I
Grodin's great in
mentioned
it.
him to them last night, and they were like, "Who?"
Yeah,
Yeah,
I,
Renee
I didn't know that
Auberjonois.
guy's name. No.
I love him in that.
I love that
Actually,
guy.
Yeah.
though, Dylan, because
Benson?
you mentioned like that
Yeah.
they wouldn't discover it at the time. That could be a case where they could be ahead of the game, because I was recently watching Tentacles for my review, and the reason why the octopus attacked was killing people in that movie was because the Trojan Company, the main villains of the movie, were using
The condom company?
no. I know you're thinking that.
They
I
were
know you're
using the
thinking that.
tentacles to make more stronger condoms.
Yeah, but
Oh, that was a
the thing,
fucked up story
the
we
thing-
heard in that panel.
yeah, the thing
About
is that
Oh God.
that they were using like a low frequency, which was driving the octopus nuts. Turns out I did my research. That's actually true. It damages the the astasis, which keeps invertebrates like octopuses. They keep them balanced, essentially, keep them buoyant. And when the longer you give them low frequency, the more it damages them. So in a way, you could say they were sort of ahead of the game, but I just think there was just a strange coincidence.
That was
it
another-
just happened.
That was
now.
another fun story we learned in one of the panels we attended. That octopus that King Kong fights in King Kong versus Godzilla,
Mhm.
it's dead. It died on set. They wrapped it in plastic and they fought it.
When Kong throws it over his head, the reason why he looks all jellied up is because it's covered in like petroleum to preserve it.
Poor octopus.
Yeah.
Yeah, Odako died a long before Dylan thought.
And they never even got to eat it. 'Cause
that was the plan.
I thought they did eat it. Or
no, he said
they
they,
were going
they
to?
didn't because it was too bad.
Okay.
It had gone bad by that.
Well, no, he said that he heard that they did, but he didn't believe it because it would have been really gross by that point.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like when you have to eat when you're eating like raw seafood, it has to be fresh, like right
and
out.
not under studio lights.
Yeah,
and
and
less
mine is
steak.
cooked.
Another fun fact, not to get too off topic, and I'll
Sure.
be quick. With that movie, there's a tripod in the background.
our hour-long
There's
firework break.
there's a tripod in the background of when they're in the little hut thing, and the dude's bitching about his corns
Yeah,
and
yeah.
whatnot.
Yeah.
And there's a legit tripod behind Island Gilligan. I don't remember his name, and the other guy who's just like, I don't want to hear about your corns. There's a tripod in the background for whatever reason.
I'm really impressed that the Martians chose to invade during the
Interesting choice.
Yeah, fun fact. Go back and watch that. Go find it.
Okay. Well, let's see. We have a certain channel that I think some of us are familiar with, Split Screen,
Oh God.
who asks.
Oh.
He just
Who's-
texted me.
Who's
Why
that?
has he been texting you? Why is he texting me? Like I'm off going to find other things on planet Earth.
I never heard of him.
Okay, now is this Jake or Joe? Who do you
It's
think this
definitely
is?
Joe.
It's
Okay,
Joe.
yeah.
Jake's got things to
Yeah,
do.
Jake has a life. Amazingly enough, Joe, like you're
You want-
you're
you want-
depressing. Jake has a goddamn life.
Do you want us to talk? So you want us to get the mic's all yours?
Round one.
You're gonna talk some
all he wants to
You're
hear.
gonna talk some wrestling smack to Joe over the
You suck as Fred Durst, and I beat that game in like 5 minutes. I don't know what the hell you're doing.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
brother.
let's see.
Joe, go home.
You're drunk.
He's probably already at home.
Actually, why aren't you guys drunk?
Yeah, he was asking me that, and I'm just like, because it's not. Our
You are
show.
drunk, aren't you?
I'm tipsy.
Well, you said you were drunk.
I was drunk when I left, and then
Okay,
I
and you walked it off.
Yeah,
And I'm too busy talking to get drunk.
because this isn't Will's channel. That's why we're not drunk. why aren't you drunk, Joe? Why don't you?
Yeah.
What the hell's the
Yeah.
matter with
Yeah.
Good job.
We like to keep things, quality when we're on Andres' channel. It's on Bill's channel that we fuck up.
Oh, I don't give a fuck.
you?
Yeah.
Except for when I'm around, I'll drink like a fish.
We like to start with mass appeal and then just work our way down until nobody's watching anymore.
Exactly.
Let's see. So the first question, Will, did you get me Godzilla in Hell? I don't know who this person is.
Got a rant-filled text from Joe. Fuck you guys. Me and I have no life. I'm doing laundry and listening to you clowns.
He just said he's responding in real time.
Tell him you
I'm gonna write my mistake.
My bad.
I'm not gonna write anything. I'm just gonna say, Joe, you still don't have a life. Enjoy your doing your laundry.
Well, I didn't because it's probably gonna be cheaper if I go to a normal comic book store and get it for him. He can also just borrow my copy.
Or
Yeah.
just download it. through
It
PDF,
is
you only know Jake.
Is Godzilla in Hell available on trade paperback now?
Yes,
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I have it.
All
I
right.
saw some at the con.
Oh, okay. I
It's
should probably
worth
get
picking
my. Yeah, okay. Oh,
Actually,
you've read
so-
it now.
I finished it.
Okay.
I gotta reread it though because the
There
first
you
time I read it, I was really fucked up.
They
So
also, they also had,
Did
they
they,
also
make
had
a
really
collected
nice
book edition
hardcover
yet?
of,
is there a hardcover that was Half Century War?
there was
we
a
saw
really nice
for?
hardcover of Half Century War. I
But yeah,
didn't
there's
see
a trade
I
of it
was
in Hell.
pleasantly
All right,
surprised.
I gotta
with
check
that.
that. I gotta
I was very good.
That's still my favorite Godzilla comic of all time.
Oblivion.
So far.
Oh,
I
What was
I've
the one
read
before
the-
Oblivion.
I flipped through the first
Hell.
issue.
Godzilla in Hell.
Was it?
before that was Cataclysm.
Cataclysm was.
All right, then I'm. very
Cataclysm
far
is like,
behind on
eh.
I haven't watched.
But I will say I like the
Watch.
fact that they're doing everything totally different.
Yeah, it's all
I
like
kinda
what
like
if
that.
Godzilla scenarios now. Yeah,
Yeah.
I like that too.
I haven't read Oblivion yet because I flipped
You could say
through
that
an
maybe
issue at a
IDW 's going
comic
through
store
an
and the
experimental
art
phase
turned me
with
off to
Godzilla.
it.
Yeah,
because
I'm
they just did a
looking forward
continuous series
to
with
the
Rules
Godzilla
Verse, and now
through
they're
Time
just like,
stuff.
all right, let's experiment
Yeah,
all
that-
that.
that's
I
pretty
think
good.
that's what's going on.
That
Yeah.
looks really
Yeah.
good. I like that cover that Matt Frank has.
I like the one James Biggie did.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
both of those.
Yeah.
I like both of those.
By the way, Biggie, where are you?
Is Frank doing the art for that on the interior, or who's,
I'm not sure.
who's doing the art
Has
for that?
that-
It's different people for each issue.
Oh,
It's-
so
I
doing the
think-
same thing as in Hell. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
Oh god, I can't talk. Has Zornow done a cover for that?
Probably.
I think he has.
yeah. I think they're all done with all the covers now. So I think I think Biggie said something about wanting to get them all done beforehand.
Oh, so he's
Somebody
doing
said
multiple covers.
No, like they have all the. I think they have all the covers for all the issues
Oh,
done
okay.
already.
Right. Okay.
When does
But-
that start?
That I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
They usually start in July every year, I think.
You can tell I've been drinking. I go hit that bathroom again.
Let's see. Well, it looks like we're up
Watch out for
going.
the cat.
We'll do.
But, I don't know where that is.
It looks like the
D wait up. I
comments
don't know what it is yet, so.
just
You watch out
not
for the
devolved,
cat,
but
too.
kind of
I will.
spun off into this big old conversation. But I do want to mention that it looks like we're going to be start wrapping up soon, but we still have 10 watchers now. So I do want to say, if you have any questions that you would like to ask any of us or all of us, please do so now.
Toast Society asked a question.
Oh, okay. So where is it? Oh, yeah. If there was a kaiju you think could fit in the Shin Gojira design aspect, what would that be? So what monster could
Ghidorah.
aesthetically?
Yeah, I was just about to
Okay.
say,
Ghidorah,
Ghidorah,
yeah. I'd say maybe if you could maybe add
Shin
little,
Ghidorah? That would.
yeah, Shin
That would be
Ghidorah.
beautiful.
I'd say maybe if you could
And
maybe
ugly.
add a bit of I'd say maybe something not GMK, but like something essentially. What I've always wanted to see King Ghidorah was a more Japanese dragon-esque style King Ghidorah, but a little bit more screwed up, kind of like Shin Godzilla. For me, I've always wanted to see a King Ghidorah that looked more like a Japanese dragon.
Yeah.
Because even though I do
I-
like the other King Ghidorah designs, I just like to see something that actually represents.
I have one name. Gabara.
Ooh, yeah.
He's never had a reboot. Look.
Right. I feel like there's because of Gabra's like
That's the Gabara sound.
No. Wait, what?
As
He,
Chris,
he sounds kind of like a cat that's gonna start puking.
That's
soon.
what I'm doing. And I'm thinking of Gabba
Wait, I'll find the Gabara sound. I've actually kind of been like really interested in Gabara lately.
Yeah,
'cause he
yeah.
looks cool.
to quote Chris Mowry, he's the Freddy Krueger of kaiju.
Yeah, he exists in a dream. He only exists in dreams,
That's
in a
true.
in a little boy's dream. So it's like the
That would
sky's the limit for what you can do with
Yeah.
him.
Chris, have you ever seen Chris Elchison's Godzilla X the Kaiju Killer?
I've seen bits of it.
Yeah,
I think I watched some of that when I first discovered your channel.
Oh, cool.
yeah, because they have a version of he made a version of Gabara, and I think that would kind of look like what he would be in a Shin Godzilla universe.
Here's the Geber roar.
Yeah, that's totally a cat about to bark.
Actually sounds like a mating called Bill Worcester.
No wonder he's in a bad mood all the time.
I think I caught a glimpse of that murder basement you're talking about.
Let's see.
About the murder basement?
So I think I caught a glimpse of it as I was
Oh yeah.
exiting the domicile.
Yeah, it's like half music store, half murder basement.
Oh,
Let's see.
it's good that you can be, what's the word?
Dylan, we had
Laundry room also, yeah.
Yeah.
we had a question asking us what Toho monsters do you think could fit aesthetically in the Shin Gojira universe, I guess, design wise.
Well,
Because we were talking about King Ghidorah and Gapara.
off the top of my head, I mean, Shin Godzilla is made to look like really fucked up.
Yeah.
And one monster that already looks pretty fucked up is Destroya,
Oh,
Yeah.
who's the fucking devil. So
Yeah.
It would be interesting to see like a Shin universe with all the Shin versions like that.
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
And you've got like you've got like Hideaki Anno who's working on this, and he's worked with like religious imagery before. So it's like Destroyer himself is like you mentioned, the devil incarnate. So it's like you
Also,
could, if you want to throw in some god how would you say this, how would you say this, like godlike beings into the mix, then yeah, I can see Destroyer fitting in.
also, I'm going to throw out Batra because I can't go a video without throwing out Batra.
But I think with Destroyer, you need to
Batra's
heavily
really
alter
close
his
to Star
origin
Wars.
in order for that to work. Because let's keep in mind, with Shin Godzilla, this is not a direct sequel. This is a full-fledged reboot. So
Right.
Destroyer would need to have a much different backstory than what he's given in the original film.
He would, but they already did something
Shin
like that.
Minya.
They already did something. Yes, they already did something like that in the IDW books, though, right? Destroyer's backstory is not the same. Am I correct about that?
I can't confirm.
Let's see.
I think
Bill, we had a
you are
question
correct, though.
Okay.
Yeah.
about what Toho monster do you think would fit aesthetically into the Shin Gojira universe design wise. We were bringing up like Destroya, King Ghidorah, Gabara, Minya, jokingly.
Biollante.
Biollante.
Yeah, Biollante.
Pretty much like the
Biolante's perfect for that
Oh,
universe.
also, I hate the movie, but just speaking on pure aesthetics, Megaguirus kind of has a Shin look.
Oh yeah, okay.
I
So
just like
basically
to see some
anything that-
redesign monsters
Yeah.
too. Like, wouldn't it be cool if we saw like a Shin Mothra or something? Just like,
Yeah,
You
like
mean
that's
They
what-
could actually make it look more like an actual moth.
yeah, that would be cool.
Yeah.
Well, we'll probably get that if Legendary eventually makes their
That's
sequel.
true. That's true.
Yeah.
If that ever happens.
Let's
Sure.
see.
Am I correct in my
see,
assumption that,
there's a bunch of
Destroyer
questions.
Oh, yeah, we had
is,
someone about like YouTube poops. Like, do you guys
They don't get-
watch them?
They don't. Oh yeah. He's,
There's
And
one.
answer that question.
There's
Godzilla
one
DNA
Spider-Man
exposed to
to poop,
life on the bottom of the
and
ocean.
it's
Okay, yeah.
utterly
Yeah.
hysterical to me.
Uh-huh.
And I can still watch it to this day, and it just sticks. It's,
There was an Anguirus question.
He's an alien now though, so.
Where?
Yeah, that's very.
Shin Anguirus would be interesting.
Oh yeah. all right.
Shin Rodans.
Yeah.
A Rodan would work well
I
too.
saw
Really
Ang-
play with Anguirus, you can
someone
make those
said
spikes
something
like
about
all fucked
Anguirus.
up, you know?
Yeah.
Maybe
You're
you're
right.
fitting in the
Anything.
Shin
You're
universe.
right.
Let's see.
Nice enough.
Terry Hayes
Rodan-
says,
Rodan
"Are you
just
hoping for
established
Godzilla to have an anime?" No, I gave up my hopes long ago.
What kind of anime was it?
Are you hoping for Godzilla to have an anime?
I will always hope for that, but do I think it's going to happen?
No.
No, if it
No,
was going to happen, it would have happened a long time ago.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Well, technically, we're gonna have Shin-chan versus Shin Gojira, so there you go.
It's gonna be short though, isn't it?
It's just gonna be an episode.
Right. Like,
Maybe that could work for maybe like a pilot for like a pitch for to say, Toho, here's an idea for a Godzilla anime. What do you say to
That
it?
would be
Yeah.
great.
Maybe that's why they're kind of
I-
doing
I
that.
think
just happened.
there might
It would
be
be
a
amazing.
possibility of like a
Captain Gordon
like a
would be the main
Netflix legendary Defender style Godzilla,
I would.
I
like
can
to
see that. I can
where
see that.
it's American made but anime style.
Mhm.
We're more likely to get that, I think,
Yeah.
than
Which-
a
that would be
Japanese
cool.
anime.
The only
Yeah.
question would
no,
be
I'm fine with
the
that.
only question would be whether or not Toho would sign off on it. And they're
And
so
probably
weird.
not.
They're
No.
so weird about everything that I
Yeah,
couldn't even
they're pretty
begin to-
anal
Also,
about
yeah,
that
like-
sort of thing.
It's like you made a student project.
We were just
gonna
talking
sue
about
you.
that earlier. Like, there's never been a Godzilla anime.
Godzilla stuff
Right,
on the
right.
other ones. Lawsuit.
Yeah.
Let's see. So
Godzilla
Joe
versus,
asks.
Man Bunny.
Joe asks, How do you guys feel about Cloverfield? I showed Cal it for the first time the other day, and he enjoyed it. It's my favorite movie. Lol.
Shut up, Joe. That's my response.
So aggressive.
And yeah, it's honestly, I saw it for the first time like maybe like a week or two ago, and I adored it. I thought the story was fantastic. I haven't seen 10 Cloverfield Lane. I don't know if
It has nothing to do with
And
it.
no
Okay,
connection.
I've been told that. So,
And like
Spoilers.
as
Sorry.
much as you could, as much as people would like to think about it, there is no way it can ever take place in the same
It's a
continuity.
totally separate story.
It's basically a Halloween 3.
I just love how like this guy is being shipped off to Japan,
Mhm.
and the day before a giant monster.
Yeah, it's like
can you imagine if
irony.
if that happened? Like,
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, you're the only one who like actually lives in Japan.
Yeah, that totally
Right.
could have happened
So
to
like,
you.
Oh, yeah,
like,
right.
imagine like that happens your last night in America, a
Uh-huh.
giant monster attacks and like just wreaks havoc. That'd be
Uh-huh.
amazing.
I mean, we shat on the movie a little bit earlier while you were lost, talking about how the human story is a little weak and how there's a little bit of waste potential.
I mean,
But it's still pretty impressive.
it's a fun
Like,
movie, and it's the concept is great.
Yeah.
It would be cool to see Cloverfield style Godzilla film.
Oh yeah,
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Just, like make
Godzilla.
it an official thing.
I think
10 Godzilla Lane.
I dug the design, and I overall dug the direction that J.J. Abrams was kind of trying to take.
Well, it's technically
Well,
not
it's Matt
his.
Reeves. It's Matt
Well, I know it
Yeah,
isn't,
he-
but like in a way, he like kind of helped steer him like to get that direction going. Because J.J. Abrams was kind of saying with an interview that he essentially wanted to create the essential Americanized kaiju that we never got.
It's like a Spielberg Zemeckis.
Yeah, then everyone copied that.
Yeah, because with King Kong, he's always been viewed as the sympathetic character, but he wanted something more akin to Godzilla, which is something they want to go with Cloverfield. It's just kind of unfortunate that didn't work. Maybe they could try again with a sequel. I do like the first film. It's just, like, I kind of agree with Dylan. There's a lot of lost potential.
Also, I don't like how King Kong's an American-grown monster. We stole him from another island where he was a god,
True.
and just held him up to captivity to display for money.
That's an American
He was
way.
an
American way.
But that's not-
He was a-
So what are you
he
talking
was
about?
a-
He's
It's imported
American.
slave labor. It's the oldest American thing.
He was a king
He's
in
the
his
ultimate
world.
American. He's the immigrant experience summed up.
Yeah, just ask
Followed
anybody
by
who
a
worked with
brutal
Sony.
death.
Now, here's an interesting question. Do you think Cloverfield did it better, or do you think Monsters?
Monsters is better than Cloverfield.
Really?
Yeah, I think so.
The idea of
Yeah.
the execution of like a kaiju story told from the human like perspective.
The horror
Okay.
elements are just
Like,
a
it's
lot
not- it's
smarter.
not found
Monsters.
footage.
That was the Asylum one, right?
No, no.
Monster
Duh,
is the
duh.
Cloverfield.
It's
knockoff
Garrett
that came
Edwards'
out.
first film that he did.
Oh, no,
That's
no,
where
yeah.
they take the girl back home.
Yeah,
That one
That
was
was
fantastic. The
Don't waste
second
your
one was
time. Don't
garbage.
waste your
Yeah.
time with dark content.
Oh no, I haven't. I
Garbage.
don't even.
Don't do
care
it. I'm
now.
so glad I pirated it. Don't watch it.
God, I'm
If
still
you're
figuring a
listening,
way to get
NSA.
that time back.
Yeah. I just love how in that first one, just like this shot, we're on a boat and you just hear the monsters in the far distance. I
Yeah.
love that. That's
Yeah.
great.
The Asylum one, I actually
Oh, yeah.
thought was really well done for an Asylum film.
Huh? I haven't seen that.
It's basically Cloverfield with a giant octopus, but it's set in Japan.
Oh, okay.
And because they don't show the monster really, it's pretty good because
Huh.
there's very
Huh.
little special effects. You see very little of the monster. So because there's nothing there to expose how cheap it is, it's actually not horrible.
How's the human story?
Not horrible.
Horrible.
It's like the end of
It's a good selling point.
It's not terrible.
It's
not
it's as
terrible.
good- It's as
This
good
movie,
as
it's
an Asylum
not
movie can be.
Okay, I'm about that. I'm
Like
about that.
All right.
But
Uh huh.
it's like
about it,
Abraham
not bad.
Lincoln versus Zombies.
I heard that Brad Jones liked that.
Except for the weird beard stuff and like the digital blood effects,
Mhm.
because everything was basically like live effects.
Mhm.
It wasn't bad. Like it was kind of goofy, but in a fun way.
Do you think it's actually better than Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter?
I've not seen that yet.
Oh,
A lot of what Asylum been putting out recently is actually not bad. Like
What?
I love Z Nation. I think
What was
it's
the
a
Asylum
hilarious
movie I found the other
parody.
night?
Was it Atlantic Rim?
No, it was the no, it was the Suicide Squad.
Why is that? Not a
Oh,
porno?
I don't know. I don't remember what was that was
Why is
called.
that not
But
a porno?
It should be, right?
Yeah, Asylum made a
Because there's not those specific rim jobs all over the internet.
Asylum made a
To the X hamster.
Yes.
Asylum made a Suicide Squad parody, and I forgot the name of it already, but I saw it the other night, and I couldn't.
Oh, yeah. What'd you say that was called? Suicide something?
Something
Suicide
Squad.
Bombers.
No,
It didn't start with suicide. It was something.
Yeah, it was
Squad.
something Squad,
okay.
and it was.
You started with suicide.
I just couldn't believe it existed.
It was
Like,
called Suicide Team.
Kill yourself squad.
Now they're ripping off
Homicide Squad.
Homicide squad.
Now they're ripping off movies they haven't seen yet. Like at least
Murder
before
Squad.
They were waiting for the movie to come out, and then they would rip it off.
But of course, though, with the Asylum, we can't forget the greatest thing of them all, the grand treasure of the Asylum, Sharknado.
I disagree. I think that
I'm
Mega,
much-
Hey, listen,
Mega
I
Shark
saw
versus-
that in movie theaters, and I forgot.
I'm much
Mega
more-
Shark versus Giant Octopus is their magnum opus in my opinion.
I agree.
I
I
genuinely mean
completely
that.
I respectfully disagree with that. Sharknado was a masterpiece.
I'm much
Just
more
because
of
Chris
a-
Jericho's in the third one.
I'm much more.
But
of a-
it makes it even better, though. It makes it
Come on,
even
do they
better.
wrestle with
It's
Shark?
Chris Jericho.
No, Kurt Angle is in the second
Oh,
one.
and
He's
you
like
know-
a cop,
oh,
and it's
and
hilarious.
Cap.
Why would
You know
you
what I-
not do the obvious Brock Lesnar F5ing a shark?
Yes, yeah.
I'm much more
But
of a
you know,
Shark
it's going to
guy.
get even better, though, because you know who they're going to bring in the next movie? They're going to bring in Mitch the Plant.
What we need now is a crossover film where a bunch of sharktopus get brought up into a tornado.
Sharktopus is easy.
Sharktopus NATO. It would be
Sharktopus NATO.
That sounds like a point. Mega Shark.
Exactly.
The ultimate
Mega Sharknado.
clusterfuck.
Sharktopusy.
Sharktopus.
So
Asylum's
would
set
that
up
be
to
like
go.
an English
Turns out to be
shark
a really
spy?
boring spy movie.
You have to put all-time high in there, though.
Oh yeah, right.
We're
at
at an all-time
Put that at the beginning
high.
of everything. That's their theme song. What are you talking about?
All right, let's try to blast through these last few questions.
I don't know YouTube poops, so
Yeah,
Spider-Man 2 had a good one. That was it.
The Room had a couple good ones.
Toy Story.
John Tron.
Oh yeah, Toy Story did have a really good one.
What's the
Oh,
question?
there's the end.
Who had a good one?
YouTube poops.
YouTube poops. You watch them.
Wilford Brimley.
Oh yes.
Oh,
YouTube
yeah,
poop.
it's the best YouTube poop.
I was scared. Was afraid to
We need do
die.
a podcast. Jacob has a pretty cool
question.
question.
Ooh, okay.
I think my
Every
favorite
just
one.
say
I think my
something.
favorite YouTube poop's got to be one of Samurai Jack, where somebody edited the audio where
You lost
where
it. It was like
Aku
right on the
goes
bottom.
Oh,
where
well, I'm just
Aku goes and plunged him into my ass. Now the
Oh, there
fool seeks to return to the future and undo the past. That is Aku. I didn't know what was going on, but I was just loving it.
Okay. So let's.
Angry Video Game Nerd had some
And
pretty
I
good
do my
YouTube
doctor.
poops, but a lot of those are just long gone now.
Yeah.
All right.
Because they just got either lost to the shuffle or they just got taken down.
Nothing
Like,
beats-
so we're gonna
nothing
do
beats
a
Wilford
lightning
Brimley.
round with the questions.
Yes. Have you seen Godzilla Battle Royale from G-Fest? Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we love
I
it.
watched half of it. Haven't seen the rest of it.
It's a
and
yes or
I-
a no.
Yes-ish.
We have reviewed it. It's great. We love Baker. We love DeBose. Move on.
OMG, was that Super DM64?
Yes.
It was. I'm
Yes.
He's alive.
I'm
Okay.
alive.
Sometimes.
Would you like
that?
let's see. Would you like Anguirus to be in the legendary Godzilla Kong universe? Yes.
Sure.
Yeah.
That'd be interesting.
Baragon.
Put them both on Kong's Island.
I would go for Baragon over
Ah,
Anguirus.
yeah.
You
could
could throw
do
like
that.
Rodan in there too.
Rodan could be on Kong's Island. Gorosaurus put on there.
Then
Don't
it's
write
then it's
any of those.
Monster Island.
Okay.
Yeah, you just make that Monster Island.
How would you guys do an Alien versus Predator movie? One that doesn't suck.
Yeah.
Yeah, not
Adapt
make it
the
suck.
freaking
Just
comic
make
books.
one that's
Yeah.
like the fucking comic.
Stone Cold Steve
Go with the
Austin.
comics or go with the games.
You
Well,
take
they're the
that.
same thing.
You
Yeah.
take,
well,
you
true.
take that first novelization that was written based on the
Red
comic
Squad.
books. You just turn it into a movie. Done. Good movie.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
I'm with you.
What do you guys think of Super 8? Haven't seen it.
Haven't seen it.
It's
No,
I have.
It's
I have.
thoroughly fine.
It's a adequately made film.
It's
Yeah.
it's a solid film. Solid.
Sounds bad.
Let's see. How do you guys
I
feel?
liked it.
Joe asks, how do you feel about the shitty sci-fi movies they used to play on Saturdays, like the Killer Bigfoot movie or Snakehead Terror?
I feel awesome about
Best movies ever.
I know what you're
Abominable,
talking about. Snakehead Terror is a masterpiece.
Abominable
What's
is
Legend
one of
of
the top
Boggy
10
Creek?
best Bigfoot movies
Oh.
ever made.
Legend of
Oh, you
Boggy
mean they didn't
Creek.
play?
Oh, I saw Brock Lesnar in there somewhere.
Oh,
Remember
yeah.
when you were explaining your brother there was a movie
Brock,
called?
wait,
Oh,
Brock
God,
Lesnar
he blew his mind.
Brock Lesnar
He's
carrying
seen
a
that
basking
before, too,
shark.
because I've
Oh,
rented
It's
it.
an awesome
Oh,
sight.
okay.
No, it was a great white shark.
Yeah.
Not a
Yes.
basking shark.
God.
I mean, he was
Nerd.
young, you know.
Let's see. What did you guys think of Asylum's Transmorphers? Boring as fuck.
I
The-
didn't.
I've never.
I never seen
watched
it.
I didn't think of
Good.
it once.
I will say that the 8 minutes and 14 seconds I managed to watch of it was not awesome.
I was more a fan of the Terminators. That was their. That was when they put out the Year Salvation
What
came out.
about Alien versus Hunter?
Oh God.
With the
Oh,
spider alien.
Yeah, that was the year Requiem came out. Yeah.
Okay, so it looks like we just finished all of our questions for today, for tonight. Thank you, everybody, for all 11 of you for joining us on the G-Fest 23 live stream. all 3 installments of this amazing
trilogy.
saga.
Oh my god.
Yes. Yes.
But he doesn't just carry it; he F5s.
Yeah, he F5s the hell out of it. And then there's another one called he has to take care of business.
You guys remember that time that RoboCop was on wrestling?
Yep.
Oh my
Yes.
god!
No, but nothing was better than the Undertaker teaming up with Chuck Norris.
There was also,
Wow,
there was also
yeah.
a time
Yeah,
that
that
Chucky
happened.
was on
Yep.
wrestling.
Yeah, he challenged Rick Steiner to a wrestling match.
Why are we not better friends right now? Hang on, wait, what's going on?
I just know these things because my brother is obsessed with
That's
wrestling.
cool, but why do you even know that Chucky was on WCW?
Because I've seen that.
No, it's
that's-
WCW, not
Because I've
ECW.
seen that clip before.
No, I know WCW. Did I say ECW?
Yeah, you said ECW.
I meant to say
You ever
WCW.
see that?
I wish
Asian-
he was on
You ever see that
ECW.
Asian RoboCop chicken commercial?
Yeah, I was about to bring that up.
Where he steals the refrigerator and walks off.
RoboCop's a dick in that. I mean, RoboCop's a dick in that. He's more of a dick in that. Shooting people in the dick.
I still want
RoboCop versus M11.
I still want
Oh,
my.
yeah.
Oh.
I'd buy that
kick
twice.
RoboCop's ass though. Yeah.
I still want my blaxploitation remake of RoboCop titled entitled RoboCop.
Yes.
Whoa, why is that not a thing?
I don't know. I have tons of blaxploitation movies ideas.
We gotta tell Matt about that.
Oh shit.
Foster's a fan of the genre. We should talk to him about
Send it over to the asylum,
You
All
killed
right.
Kyle. He's dead.
you bastard.
Gotta go bury him. Can we dig a hole out there?
You're gonna
Dude,
take a
no,
walk.
like seriously, do that. Do that somehow. Like
Do
I
that
don't-
now.
I have this.
Act it out.
Do it now.
Do it
now.
I have this original blaxploitation character called Tornado Jones, and RoboCop was supposed to be the third adventure story.
Do it now. Get it out before
Do it
someone
now.
like me steals it.
RoboCop. Oh, that was the name, right?
I did a design once. It was just RoboCop, but he was black.
Yeah, I
and his
remember.
armor was purple
That I remember.
Why did he have a
Yeah.
fro?
with gold trim. Oh, I should have put a fro on there.
No,
Redesign.
have a fro, and then there's the helmet.
RoboCop 2.0.
You also
2.0.
you gotta like
Wait a second. Wait, hang on. Isn't Cyborg basically RoboCop? though? I'm just saying, man.
anyways, we have got to end this. Well, we've been going on for
I'll
God
get
knows
the
how
hell out of
long.
my yard.
Yes. Get off my lawn. Get off my lawn. But I do want to give a big special thank you to Chris and Annie for allowing us to have us here and have our show and just have this
Thanks for the
big.
grub.
Oh yeah,
Oh, yes,
thank you
absolutely.
so much.
No
And,
problem.
and I'm very glad we were able to cover a wide variety of topics from Voltron to animation,
We never did
superheroes.
get back to Voltron.
I think we kind of like gave our general
It
thoughts
was
on
good.
Voltron. Yeah, it was good. Fucking watch it.
I like it
We
very
didn't
much.
really do much talking
What it
about
was, it was
G-Fest,
good.
but we're gonna have a pod.
We'll do our retrospective.
We're gonna
podcast
do our
when we get back,
retrospective
yeah.
podcast all about G-Fest and what we
Right.
saw and everything.
You know what? That's
when are you guys
that's
all leaving, by the way?
Monday morning.
Monday? Okay.
So
Yeah.
we'll be there tomorrow.
I know
yeah.
one person mentioned that like we didn't really talk a lot about G-Fest, but rather it felt like another episode of SOS. But that's kind of like the whole. That's what like G-Fest is for us, like personally. Where like this
Sending
is
out
our
signals.
this is our opportunity to discuss these sort of things in person with
I
other
think there should
individuals.
have been more Night of the Fire Beast, but that's just
We'll make sure to rectify that next year.
rectify the Fire Beast.
Absolutely.
That could be the name of a documentary. Fire Beast.
The fuck.
That's your
Rectify
next,
Doragon.
that's your next movie title instead of Resurgence of Fire Beast Rectification.
Actually, you know what it
The
is?
fire
Fire
rectifies.
Beast Legacy,
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
because it sounds like legendary.
Yeah.
There
you go.
So, see, is there anything anyone wants to pimp out before we end the show?
I guess check out my YouTube page, Sapphire Night Productions, and currently after I leave G Fest tomorrow night, I'm gonna get back into my Jaws ripoff-a-thon videos. I'm currently editing 2 of them, and hopefully I can get those out pretty soon. And then I'm gonna be working on the rest of the videos for the rest of the end of July.
All right, excellent. Anyone else?
Find the skunk ape, please.
I guess look out for RoboCop. I guess. And yeah. also, there's a super secret project that I'm not going to say what it is, but us and Baker and Andres and everybody else.
I was here like us. Like you pointed at me and you're like they're gonna know.
Well, I don't care about them. Everybody
They don't matter.
Very early pre-production type stages of a project, but yeah, just
Oh, season finales for SOS and DFOS are next week. So
Those are
Right, right.
That's a thing.
Somebody's
So
Those are
that's a thing.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
That's a thing.
Somebody's going to die.
Yeah. Yes.
Or resurrect.
A big plot
Oh,
twist is going to happen. It's going to be David. I mean,
Nope.
it's going to. You know,
We're gonna find David's planet finally.
yeah, we're going
Finally.
to send him the fuck back.
All right, and be sure to be on the lookout for my Rebirth of Mothra review, as well as the
Damn time.
Yeah, man.
as well as the review of season 1 of Voltron Legendary Defender between me, James Biggie, and Chris Martinez here.
Yeah, Biggie shows up.
If he shows up, he's a rather difficult individual to track down, especially on Facebook.
He's
Yeah,
just like
if you
the
look in
skunk
a
ape.
bowling alley, he's right there.
Sure.
Come on, Biggie. I love you, man, but what the fuck?
The fuck, brah. All right, so thank you everyone so very much for joining us on this special live stream. Hope you've enjoyed it, and until next time, everybody, I have been Andres Perez, aka Kaiju Noir.
Chris Martinez.
Kyle, I'm still laughing about RoboCop.
Dylan, I'm still planning RoboCop.
Bill Worcester, aka Zazibar. I just want to find the skunk ape. If I do that, I can die. Like that's
Do you
it.
think RoboCop will be filmed?
Annie.
Yes.
And this is Blue Eyes.
And until next time, everybody, take care.